Hey everyone, this is Sean Mooney with Mooney Bin Entertainment. You're about to watch a demo of the strategy board game Tomorrow Dies Today. This is a board game for supervillains and is based around negotiation, betrayal, and world domination. Now, there's 3 different game modes: competitive, competitive co-op hybrid, and 100% cooperative, so it appeals to any different tabletop group. Today we're going to be demoing Syndicate, which is 100% cooperative and can be played solo or with up to 6 people around the table. The reason why I believe this game is fun: you have to manage your resources, you have to plot out 3 moves in advance, and when you're working together with a group, you're racing against the clock and trying to figure out almost a mathematical puzzle in order to get to the end of the doomsday plan before the world's authorities come and shut down your organization. I filmed this live on Facebook and then cut out a couple things to make it a little bit shorter, but don't worry, I kept the important things like my cat snoring. Hope you guys enjoy. We'll be launching September 1st, 2020 on Kickstarter. Please feel free to visit our website at mooneybinentertainment.com and reach out to me at mooneybinentertainment@gmail.com. Have a great day. All right, Ninja, you joining me? Come on. We are live now, so the video is waiting on you. I have an indecisive cat. Bear with me for a second. Come here, buddy. Come on. I'm not threatening you at all. I know you're anxious. Okay, he's leaving. Okay. He'll jump up later. This will not be a how-to video. I will explain things as I'm going, but I'm not going to go through a detailed rules explanation from beforehand. So you'll just kind of have to follow along. There will be other very detailed how-to videos to learn how to play for your group. All right, with that said, I'm going to switch over to screen share here. We're going to go through a game of Syndicate today. Ninja's going to help. I'll get it started. All right, so I've already set up the beginning of the board here. Ninja, seriously, move, buddy. Thank you. I've already set up the beginning of the board here. I'm going to be playing single player, so I've set out the cards and everything that we're going to start with. So I don't get to see what the global event is, which is kind of a crisis card that happens every other round. I'm going to flip over all the available gadgets and directives, and I'm going to pick my character. Now, normally you just pick your character. There's no actual dice in this game, but for random sake, I'm going to roll 1 pewter die for my character, and the other 5 plastic die are going to be the other people I could potentially hire. All right. So that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am playing Boris. Boris is a big bruiser, ex-KGB, obviously very good in combat, also the supervillain General Goodman's bodyguard. So I'm playing Boris, and then I will have, let's see here, 9, 2, 5, 4, and 9. So 9 is going to be Hugo. He's our crazy doctor who likes to experiment with people. I will leave his character sheet over here and just bring his tile out for now. Bring Boris's tile out. So part of the beginning of this game is building the actual board. You get to strategize on what's going to be best, what the best characters for you to use, and what the best missions are going to be. So 4 was another one. We'll just use Cass since 4 was already picked. Cassandra O'Shea is our kind of, not really femme fatale, but more of like the political mastermind, expert in influencing and manipulating people. Let's see here, 9, 4, 5. So that brings us to Emerson. Emerson is like James Bond without a conscience or loyalty. He's the gentleman assassin of the group. He works for General Goodman because he likes an endless supply of work and dangerous opportunities. Axel, first recruit to General Goodman's organization, part of the American military with General Goodman, and a whiz at engineering. So he builds all the crazy gadgets that that the other scientists make. And Jin Fang, she is our thief extraordinaire. She doesn't really care about the money. She likes the thrill of being able to break through security systems and such. So, one of my favorites. All right, we have the characters laid out here. Boris is going to be my character. We unfortunately don't have minis imported into Tabletop Simulator, so we have these kind of cool stand-ups instead, so I'll be using those. All right, now I get to build the rest of the map. We're going to start with resource missions. So resource missions are, I'm going to shuffle these. Resource missions are where I can go out to the world and recruit faceless henchmen, get corruption, espionage, all the fun stuff that makes the organization go and will help me progress the game. I get to draw 9 of them first and pick 6 to put on the board. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. As a side note, my cat is just having his way with the desk. He is tromping all over everything, basically making his presence known. So this is Ninja. He's my helper. Alright, let's see what we got here. Murder Incorporated, always a favorite. Oh, and so let's take a look at Boris here. I have the affinity of Vice, so the blue in the middle left there. So I'm going to definitely want to make sure I have at least a couple Vice missions in here. Speaking of which, there's one. Rig Sports Events. For those of you who know Shoeless Joe Jackson's story, that's where this artwork was inspired from. Trafficking. I'm going to separate these out by type, and then I will pick what I want. Alright, so larceny. Got a couple larceny, financial. Let's flip all these over. It's easier to see them when they're on the non-completed side. Alright, so we definitely want the Vice mission because the more benefits I can get from my affinity, the better. So we'll go ahead and throw that out there. Trafficking is a high combat mission, which Boris will be good at. I'm sorry, not trafficking, arms dealing, which is a trafficking mission. So we'll go ahead and toss that one out there. Looking for a lot of high combat missions first off, just so Boris has a good start. Blood Diamond Harvest, that's always a good one. As you can see, this game touches on the darker side of the criminal enterprises. I didn't try to sanitize it too much, so yay, mature audiences. Boris is not the most stealthy guy, so some of these are going to be really difficult for me. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did I only draw 8? Did I stack these? Oh, missed one. He's not the smartest individual either. So some of these are going to be really difficult for Boris. This is a tough draw. But I'll also be able to take some of these faceless henchmen in the beginning too. Alright, so I'm going to pick some of these for the spoils that I can see on the back, which are the faceless henchmen I can grab. So I can see that this one can give me scientists once I complete it. I'm going to need those. Thieves will also be good. Thieves will also be good. Hackers will also be good. Hackers and thieves. Okay, that's a twofer. I'm going to go ahead and grab that one. This one gives me scientists. I'll grab that one. And this one's good for data cache, so I'll grab that one. Alright, so that's rough. I only have one of my affinities out there. The rest of these go into my personal vault, which means that I can switch them out for later if I want to. So I'm going to toss these over here. I get to draw 3 more. These don't get to get placed right now, but they go into my vault, so if I get something that I really like, I can use it later. So trafficking, larceny, and financial again. Wow, no more Vice missions. So as you can see, I drew 2/3 of the deck. The other 6 are going to be remaining in here, and there's ways to get them. It's just more difficult. But this game definitely focuses on trying to eliminate luck and reinforce strategy and wit. Usually when you draw 3, pick 1, and in this case, I just got unlucky on the draw. So the dice actually don't exist in the game either. I just use those for picking the characters. So now we get rid of the evil dice. Alright, since I'm a solo player, I get to pick 5 faceless henchmen. Boris is strong on combat with 3. Let me actually use the thing here. So 3 combat, 1 stealth, 1 cunning, and 0 diplomacy. He's not much of a talker. So I'm definitely going to need some faceless henchmen that can round out his skills. I'm going to go ahead and grab a fixer. Let's see here. We'll paste this guy over here. Scientist sounds good as well. A hacker. And a thief. So with those 4, I'm already boosting up stealth, cunning, and diplomacy pretty well. I have 3 diplomacy between these 2. I have a lot of cunning and stealth. And Boris is pretty strong on combat, but weaker on stealth, so let's grab an assassin too. We pretty much have one of everything except for a soldier, because Boris is a soldier enough by himself. So go ahead and grab these. Toss those on Boris's tile. Fairly new at Tabletop Simulator 2, so this is kind of an experience for me. Oop, let's ungrid that. Make it easier for him to move around. Damn you, tabletop simulator. Alright. Wow. Alright. I'm going to move all of these off here because none of these are playing nice. Alrighty. We have a base tile. On really quick so you can see, this is Boris's base tile. He likes his gym. It's good to work out, keep in shape, protect the general. Alright, since we are playing Syndicate, there's no need to hide where my moves are going to be, so I'm just going to grab my phase markers. This is what I'm going to use to show where I'm going at a later time, like where my moves are committed to. And I have my squad tokens as well, which I'll throw right out over here. These blank ones are used as decoys when you're playing in competitive versions, so you can place them down, face down, like this, and people don't actually know where you're going. So, all right. So that is resource missions. Doomsday tiles I don't get that much agency over. These just get picked at random. I think I shuffled these, but let's shuffle them again just in case. So I have no idea what these Doomsday missions will be. There are certain ways that I will be able to look in on them, but that's part of the challenge of Syndicate. You don't exactly know what you're up against. Let me grab my side job for Boris, get the round guide here. This tells me the steps of the round and what plotting actions I can take. So I'm going to leave this out for reference. And we'll pull these out, which help mark my squads to tell me what attributes I have. Let's see here. For betrayal triggers at the bottom left here, the team leader one doesn't matter for Syndicate. Nothing. I do not have a gadget, and don't have to worry about the other henchman ones. So that was strange. Okay. Let's go toggle this so it doesn't snap to grid. Let's try that again. Okay, so I do not have the gadget. Betrayal triggers are what's disgruntling the character. For the competitive versions, it allows you to betray the organization. It also can cost you VP. In this one, I can't win unless I have 2 or less betrayal triggers on the sheet. And since there's only 4 in Syndicate, these bottom 4, I basically just have to manage these right here. So my primary things are going to be making sure that Interpol and CIA aren't too riled up, which is tough because it's a really great source of resources. And some of the Doomsday plans actually require you to rile them up. So that could be difficult for Boris. Alright, speaking of which, let's draw the Doomsday plan. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these, draw it out. I do not actually get to look at it though. So this one's going to go up top here. Sometimes I put it in the center here underneath these tiles so that it actually can't be lifted up. But once I actually look at this card, the underside of it, the clock starts counting down twice as fast, which is going to make the game very difficult and put it into the end game. Alright, last bit of setup. I get to choose 2 more side jobs. So these side jobs can give me VP, Villain Prestige, which doesn't help me win in Syndicate since it's a single player version, but it does help me buy some of these other guys out here. So if I want to recruit in some of these other named henchmen that I put out here, the VP will help me do that. So prevent damage to another player's named henchman, which I would have to recruit someone else to do. And then, yeah, now I'm going to ditch that one for Syndicate play. That one might have been updated too. I should check the image file for that. Deploy a squad that includes 3 soldiers. While that's very thematic for Boris, it's not likely to happen unless I'm doing a really tough combat Doomsday mission. At that point, I might not need VP. Tech Wizards, personally research 3 gadgets. Yeah, I'm probably going to research 3 gadgets in this. I'll take that one. Technology markers at 5. That also might happen, given the fact that I don't have... I do have Axel here, actually, and I can always recruit him. Axel's really good at taking the technology track down. That's this thing right here. The higher the technology track, the harder it is to research gadgets. So only 1 high alert token is on the Interpol headquarter, while Doomsday Clock's at 4 or lower. Also hard to do. I'm ignoring all the red ones at the bottom. Those are disloyal missions, which don't apply to this game. So I'm just looking at the blue ones at the top. All right, let's try that. That's also late game, actually, no. So let's do the Wrecking Crew one. So I'm going to choose those 2. These are going to go back in the deck. And then I shuffle those. So I'll be able to draw more side jobs later. So I have Tech Wizard. So if I personally research 3 gadgets, which will be difficult to do with Boris, but we'll try. And if I deploy a squad, that includes 3 or more soldiers. So, all right. So we're going to start off on round 10. So since I'm a single player, I get all 10 rounds to try to pull this off. All right, cool. Thank you, Morgan. I get all 10 rounds to see if I can pull this off. And again, I don't even know what I'm pulling off yet. The story of this is General Goodman is trusting me as one of his top henchmen to pull off his doomsday plan. And he's keeping his plans close to his chest, but when we say that we think that we're ready for anything he's going to throw at us, he shows us the plans, at which point the information starts leaking out through all the faceless henchmen and all stuff like that. The world starts hearing about it, and the clock starts counting down twice as fast because the authorities are coming in on us that much quicker. If we are able to pull it off before the doomsday clock hits 0, we win. Otherwise, the authorities shut down our organization, and we are not able to implement the wide and vast evil change that we want. And granted, with the state of the world right now, maybe that change is not so evil. All right. Round 1. So I'm going to take a look at the turn order here. Interpol CIA security sweep. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. This is going to start here. We have one high alert token on here. Interpol CIA security sweep. There's nobody on these tiles, so that doesn't matter. Coordination, so now I can requisition resources, plot, build gadgets, and commit forces. Oh, and I get to flip over the first global event. Named henchmen lose all resources, not just infamy, if sent to a base by an agent. So that's bad if one of these agents hits me. So this Interpol agent, for instance, or the CIA agent, if they land on my tile and send me back to base, they steal everything I have. Not good. So if I want to eliminate that, I can deploy to the agent's tile and return 1 espionage to the world for every high alert token on both agents' headquarters. So right now that would only cost me 1, but I don't have any espionage, so I'm not going to be able to do that this round, or at least right away. Let's see here. I can't really do any plotting actions. Boris doesn't really have anything that can affect the map. It's a really tough single-player character. And I'm going to commit forces for my squads. All right, so I definitely want to do this one. That's going to net me 4 infamy and 2 funding. So this is infamy right here with that world on fire thing. The funding is the briefcase full of gold. The spoils over here is a preview of what's on the back, so you can see what's required on the back of the card, and we'll get to that pretty soon. Let's see, I need 2 stealth, 3 cunning, and 1 diplomacy. All right, 2 stealth, 3 cunning, 1 diplomacy. So I'm short 1 stealth, 2 cunning, and 1 diplomacy. So a scientist will help if I check out this stuff down here. These are all the different faceless henchmen I have and all the stats they can boost me up by. So if I'm short 2 cunning and diplomacy, a scientist can take care of me there. And then I am only short 1 more stealth, was it? Yeah, 1 more stealth. So a hacker or a thief can help me out there. Now on the back, it requires 1, 1, and 1 if I want to keep generating spoils. So yeah, so I'm going to do, well, I'm probably going to do a scientist and a thief, but let's see what I want to do for the rest of the round. So this guy is going to go round 1, 2, 3. The agents go around the circle, so I have to be careful where I'm moving from that. If I follow him, I can just go here, round 2. That's another tough one for Boris. Wow. All right, I'm playing on hard mode today. Let's see here. I will be able to do this one if I keep the thief, though. So that means if I do the hacker on the other one, the thief on this one. Oh, I still need diplomacy, so I can bring the fixer. So part of this game is the puzzle of like figuring out the math of all your attributes and figuring out what you have and how you can most efficiently go around the board, completing as many missions as possible, getting as much done as possible with limited resources. And while it's all basic addition, it can be pretty cerebral trying to figure out what you're doing. All right, so I think I'm going to go here first, here second, and here third. And since Vice is an affinity for me, I'll be able to generate more resources on that for phases 2 and 3. So, how this looks, so I'm going to grab my phase 1 token, which is huge for some reason. Let's shrink that down a little bit. Phase 2, I'm going to head out over here. Ooh, and the second question is, will I have funding? Yes, this will give me funding, which will let me go here. This will give me funding, which will let me go here. Okay. Funding is really tough in the beginning of the game because you don't start with any in Syndicate. So you have to rely on either free moves or getting funding on the run. And at the end of round 1, he'll be here. At the end of round 2, he'll be here. So yeah, I'll be able to get there. And these guys will be safe. All right. Now I get to build my squads. Alright, so I need one squad that's going to be able to take care of these. So I'm going to build a squad with that hacker and the fixer, the talkie guy. Now while this doesn't give me any combat, the hacker will give me 2 cunning and 2 stealth. The fixer also gives me 1 cunning, so it's going to bring me up to 3. And the fixer also gives me 2 diplomacy. It's a pretty decent squad for starting squad. Okay. Boris is going to be in a squad by himself because he's going to be moving around to most of the tiles, if not all of them. Do I have enough? Oh, I lied. I'm not putting the fixer in there. I'm putting the scientist in there. So that's going to change my diplomacy down to 1. And bring my cunning up to 4. Okay. So the stealth would only be 1 then. That's too bad, otherwise they could do that by themselves. Let's see if I can figure out a way to get this done with just 2 guys. I would need a thief and a scientist, but then I wouldn't have the stealth up here to do the counterfeiting operation. That's rough. Alright. Boris, going to be in squad 2. These are definitely wider than the miniatures, so I'm going to have to shrink Boris down. It's bigger in real life, I swear. And for this one, Boris can pretty much rock this by himself. He just needs a little bit of diplomacy. So we will put the fixer in with him. And that means that we just need 2 stealth. Alright, so the way that... Ooh, I'm going to go ahead and lock that so that doesn't happen again. Actually, I can lock all these too. Actually, no, because I'm going to have to flip this. So, alright, so I have 3 squads now that I have built. And make these a little bit smaller too. I have 3 squads that I've built. The assassin is staying at home. The first squad has a scientist and a hacker in it. Second one has a fixer and Boris himself. Third squad has the thief. So Ninja is now snoring on my desk. Okay. So these little markers here help remind me what the attributes of the squad are. So the thief has 2 stealth, 1 cunning. This one has 2 diplomacy and 1 cunning. Boris adds a second cunning to that, so he gets 2 here. They have 1 stealth between the 2 of them, and then Boris has got 3 combat because he's a big boy. Alright, let's see if I did my math right, and we'll pull off round 1. Okay. So nothing else to do for scheming. That was the scheming stage of the action. Most of the game takes place in scheming. It's the longest part because you have to figure out all the math and plot with everybody else. But in solo, it's a little bit easier because I don't have to consult with the rest of the table. Villainy goes pretty quickly because it's just seeing if we did everything right. So we're going to start with deploying out. So with this one, I needed 2 stealth, 3 cunning, and 1 diplomacy. Oh, I already messed up. I meant to put this guy in this one. Alright, so I'm going to have to move that down to 1 and move the diplomacy over here. Sorry, guys. I already called them all again. Alright, so I'm going to move squads 1 and 2 out to rig sports events. So between the 2 of these squads, I have 2 stealth, 3 cunning, 1 diplomacy. There's the 2 stealth right here. I have lots of cunning between these guys. And the diplomacy from the scientist as well, which should be at 1, not 2. Alright, so I complete that. Before I do get to collect the rewards, which is going to be 2 infamy and 1 funding, although I double that for this being my affinity, so I get 4 infamy and 2 funding. Move these over here so I don't get them confused. And now I have 2 squads on this tile with these requirements if I want to generate spoils, and we'll get into what the spoils are next round. Alright. Remove that because that's done. The agents investigate, so they move forward, and now we go into phase 2. Alright, so I'm going to leave squad 1 there because I want them to continue generating spoils, and I am going to move to this one over here, which requires a whole bunch of stuff. Squad 1 stays. Boris is going to move over here, which costs 1 funding. These guys are also going to move up here, which normally would cost 1 funding, but I did get a discount from coming from the base, which is how I was able to move last round without paying for anything. Also important why this guy needed to be in this squad and not this squad. So let's see here. Go ahead and spend that 1 funding. I have now moved 2 squads out here. I have 3 combat from Boris, 1 stealth from Boris, 1 cunning from Boris, and this other squad has a bunch more than just the 1 diplomacy, so I'm perfectly fine there. So that this is a trafficking mission, which is not my affinity, so I'm only going to collect 1 infamy, 1 corruption, 1 funding, and an assassin. Forgot to get an assassin from that. That's cool. I don't need the assassin right now, so I'm just going to send him home. You have the option of either creating a new squad on this tile, but I already have 3 squads, so I can't, or incorporating him into an existing squad, which I don't want to do because it'll make my next deployment more expensive. And I don't... Well, I have enough funding now, but I don't want to spend it. That's frivolous. Need to save stuff. So get a corruption, infamy, and funding. This is completed. Now these guys over here, even though they don't have a phase marker on there, since this is my affinity and they meet the requirements, they're going to generate a spoil. And what that means is I can slowly build those up and then collect later to collect fixers and or corruption for the right side of the card right there. If the agent gets around, these make the tile a lot more dangerous. So I want to make sure to be out of there by the time the agent gets there. So collected and moved on. Otherwise, it's expensive to corrupt them, the more high alert tokens that are there, and they do a lot more damage if you don't corrupt them. So fortunately, got a while before the agent gets there. All right, so that's phase 2. Agent moves up. CIA agent still chilling. You know, no doomsday mission slipped. He doesn't care. All right, beginning of phase 3. I'm going to be moving over here. Hopefully I did my math right. We'll see in a second. I'm going to combine both these squads for the purposes of moving. It's like our supervillain Uber, our rideshare. There are 1, 2, 3 in total, so that would cost me 1 funding. Normally it would be 1 funding to move this squad and 1 funding to move this squad, but I will combine them into a squad of 3 for the purposes of moving. And as we can see on here, it takes, let me actually zoom in here so you can see what I'm pointing at. It takes 1 funding to move a squad of 1 to 3, so it costs me 1 funding. Alrighty. So 3 stealth, 2 cunning, 1 diplomacy. So I have 1 stealth, 1 cunning, no diplomacy. So that means I need 2 more stealth, 1 more cunning, 1 more diplomacy. Let's see if I did my math right. The thief has the 2 stealth and 1 cunning. Basically, they're already marked here, 2, 2, and 2, so I'm more than fine on this one. But just to show the math, the thief has 2 cunning, 2 stealth and 1 cunning, and the fixer has the 2 diplomacy and 1 cunning. So that rounds it out. I'm able to complete this. It's a financial mission, counterfeiting operation, so I do not have an affinity for it, so I will collect 3 infamy. Which, yeah, I can't see under that, but 3 infamy per here, and complete the mission. Alright, so 5 infamy so far, not a horrible round. Hold on. Did I collect the wrong amount over here for? Oh, totally collected the wrong amount before. Or at least I didn't collect it at all. Yeah, I robbed myself of an infamy. Alright, I got enough. I might not have doubled my rewards the first time, but if I didn't, oh well, it's my own bad. Alright. Agents investigate. And now we get to the monologuing phase. So that was the entire villainy stage right there. Villainy stage is basically where you go out and execute all your plans, and as you can see, 3 phases of action went pretty quick. It was much quicker than the scheming stage, which I had to kind of work my way through and figure out what I was doing. Alright, so we are now into the monologuing phase, where I get to go back to base and brag about all the cool stuff that I've done and tithe my stuff back to Goodman, which in this game goes into a communal vault, which is safe from the agents. I don't necessarily... Oh, forgot one action. This guy is going to generate another spoil. I'm going to press my luck on that one. And I'm going to voluntarily recall these 2 squads for free. I'm going to leave this guy out here. So the first stage of monologuing, voluntary recall, where you can pull stuff back to base. Alright. Second is tithe to Goodman. This is where I can move stuff to my vault. I'm going to move all the infamy to the vaults, the communal vault. I'll just move that over here. And for ease of looking at what I have, I'll stack it out that way. I'm going to keep the corruption and funding on me because I might need that. I can only pull stuff out of the communal vaults at the beginning of the round. If I'm out on the map and something happens that I didn't plan for, it's nice to have that stuff in your vault. The only problem is right now with the current global events, if I get hit by the agent and I can't corrupt him, I'm going to lose a lot of stuff, which would suck. So hopefully I won't do that. Alright. Next is complete Goodman directives. I didn't even look what they were. Should have probably done that. Goodman directives. Have 1 of every type of faceless henchman under your control, which I almost have. I just need a soldier. Return 5 funding to the world. Definitely not doing that. Complete a larceny mission. Completed financial trafficking and vice missions. So I didn't complete any of those. Doing great. These would give me VP and infamy, which would obviously help my evil organization, but no go right now. Complete side jobs. I'm not even close to completing either one of these. I've not gotten any data cache to build gadgets, and I don't have any soldiers, so no go there. Next is Goodman's plotting actions. Since Goodman is not a playable character in Syndicate, it's an automated action where we flip a new directive and flip a new gadget. So the gadget is complete a trafficking mission, which, oh man, I just completed one, that would have been great. And then logistics software. Let's take a look at the other gadgets really quick. We have hypnotic spray, where for the cost of a data cache, you can add 2 diplomacy to a squad, or you can deploy to an agent's tile and then force them to move counterclockwise instead of clockwise going forward. Explosive rounds, so it's free for Boris, which is actually really good. I would get +2 combat for the round on a squad. Yeah, okay, that would be good. Then combat armor. If I spend a funding, then I can soak up some damage. Okay, so that's pretty good too. Boris kind of has that built in though. He can soak up some damage because he's the bodyguard, so not as useful for me. All right, now the world reacts, which means the clock goes down by 1. We're now down to 9 rounds. We only flip over global events when we hit an even number, so we don't have to worry about that right now, fortunately. But next round, this might flip over something which screws my world again. So, all right, beginning of round 2. So first things first, I got to decide what I'm going to do with these guys during the round. I think phase 2, I'm going to move them out after collecting phase 1, so that way I can get a couple of the guys here. Because otherwise, phase 2, at the end of phase 2, this agent's going to hit them, and that's not going to be pretty for anybody. So I'll plan on that. Phase 1, I could go to one of these 2 places here. Agent's going to go 1, 2, 3, so he'll end up here at the end. Can also raid Interpol, but then that's going to mess with my other objective, my side job here. Okay, so these are going to be some tough missions for Boris here. But I can get some hackers, which would be nice. So this one has a reward for a hacker, which will give me +2 cunning. And then I could roll over and do this one, which is 4 cunning, gives me a lot of data cache, and that can help me start building gadgets. Then I can try to swing around to this later in the round after this guy's left and grab some infamy. And that also opens up soldiers on the back of the card there. You can see under spoils, I can grab soldiers later. Just like on this one right here for spoils, I can grab fixers. So everything gives you a little bit different benefit. All right, so let's figure out how I'm going to do this. So this one, Boris is just horrible at. He's got the 1 stealth and 1 cunning, but I need another 2 stealth and 2 cunning to pull this off. Do I even have those resources available? The assassin can pull off the 2 stealth. The 2 cunning, unfortunately, would have to be these 2 guys because the scientist is currently busy doing something else. All right. Oh wait, I have a hacker too. Oh, the hacker's also busy. So all my cunning guys are off doing rigging sports events and recruiting fixers and corruption for me, which is not helping me out in the rest of the map. So that's first things first. I'm going to go ahead and disband these squads. Just for tracking purposes, I'm back in scheming. Interpol security sweeps, nobody's on the headquarter tiles, so I'm fine. Now we're in coordination, where I can requisition resources and do plotting, build gadgets, and commit forces, which is what I just kind of skipped to. Alright, disbanding these squads. Boris, Fixer, Thief. Gonna get all these 2, just gonna move those off. I'm also playing with these tiles on Tabletop Simulator. Normally in the actual physical game, they're squares and have backs and stuff like that, which make them a little bit easier because then they square up nicely in these numbers. But here they don't have that, which is kind of a cool effect, but I'm not sure if I'm in love with it yet. So if you have an opinion, let me know. All right. I also have the ability in plotting to switch out tiles if I want to. And can I search through these stacks? Of course not. Alright. So there's no other Vice missions. Nothing I'm really in love with in there. So it's not really worth espionage to me at the moment. Alright, so can I get 2 cunning out of these guys? Yes, I can. I can get 1 cunning there and 1 cunning there, which is going to be a big squad of not helpful. But also, I would also need Boris too. So I'm going to need a squad of 4 to take that down, which is very inefficient. It's going to cost me more funding than I'd like. Do I get funding for completing that? Yes, which will help. Okay, but then I have to manage to get over here, which will also give me funding. But I can do that with 1, 2, 3 guys. All right, cool. So what I will do is I'll make a squad with Boris and somebody I don't need for this. So the Thief, the Hacker, and the Fixer should be able to do that by themselves. So we will grab the Thief and the Fixer into squad 3. And then once I recruit a Hacker, I'll throw him into that squad and I'll move him over here with them. And Boris and nobody will just kind of chill on the Hacker cell, doing nothing for a little bit, because that's productive. Actually, no, because I need the... 1, 2... 1, 2... Yeah, okay, so Boris has got 1 stealth and 1 cunning. Thief takes care of the other 2 stealth, and the 2 of them together. Okay, so I can do that with the squad of 3, but if I bring an assassin along, then I can also... No, I can't generate spoils because it's not Boris's affinity. Never mind. Okay, I was trying to be more efficient. Didn't work. But at least I can do it with a squad of 3 instead of 4. And then I can rock this one with a squad of 3. And then will I be able to do this one? Yes, as long as I have another assassin or somebody with stealth, which I could potentially summon from over here. And it would end up costing me the same amount in the long run. So what I'll do is I'll throw an assassin into the squad here, and then I'll do all the math to show you guys what I've been doing in my head and trying to talk out loud. So this one's got 1 cunning from Boris, 1 stealth from Boris, and 2 stealth from the assassin. So I'm rocking 3 stealth on that one. 3 combat from Boris and 1 combat from the assassin, so 4 combat in total. And no diplomacy, because assassins and Boris are not good at talking to people. This one right here, I have 1 cunning from the thief, 1 cunning from the fixer, and I'm getting all these from down here, if, so you guys can follow along. 2 diplomacy from the fixer, none from the thief. 2 stealth from the thief, none from the fixer. So 2, 2, and 2. And these guys remained unchanged up here, 4 cunning, 2 stealth, and is it 2 stealth or 1 stealth? It should be 1 stealth, and I'm all off. Let's see, the scientist, hacker. Yeah, the hacker has 1 stealth. Scientist has 1 diplomacy. So yeah, now those are correct. All right. I think that's good. So I'm going to plot that I'm going to go to phase 1 here, phase 2 here, phase 3 here. Hopefully my funding holds out. Oh, actually, I have to move these guys out phase 2 anyway. Ooh, something I didn't plan for. All right. It's a quick change. I can move these guys over, and then I can save myself some money. All right. That would have been a lot easier. I'd have thought about that earlier. So this is why scheming takes forever. Because you want to make sure that you plot things out right so that you don't screw yourself up in the long term. So otherwise, this agent would have moved on the second turn here and just kind of butchered everybody, which would not have been fun. Lots of screaming, so much blood. So these guys can actually take care of this mostly by themselves. They would just need a little bit of stealth to help them out. All right, so let's go back to here. So basically, I don't need these guys for the second one, but I do need them for this first one. So what I can do is I can change the order up a little bit, where the fixer can go into Boris' squad, the thief can go into the other squad, which will also have the hacker, which can then move over there. And then at the final one, I will still have enough to move here. Okay, so we are still good. So this is going to change slightly, where no diplomacy in this squad, 1 and 2. This one gets bumped up by 1 cunning and gets 2 diplomacy, and now we're good. Okay. All right. Play staging markers. I'm not building any gadgets or doing any plotting actions because I'm not cool enough to do so right now. Now we're going to go into villainy. I'm going to fund my deployment. So my first deployment is going to require all 4 of these guys to go up there, which would normally cost 2 funding per the squad notation here. But I get a discount for coming from the base, so it'll cost me 1. There goes my last funding. Womp womp. And I will send squads 2 and 3 up to Hacker Cell. All right. So we need 3 stealth and 3 cunning. which this squad almost has by itself. It's just missing that one cunning, which the other squad provides right here. So between these two squads, I'm able to complete this mission, which gives me 1 infamy, 1 espionage, 1 funding, and a hacker. The hacker doesn't necessarily need to go into the squad anymore, because the thief is going to go over here. Ooh, and I messed up my math too, so I'm going to fail that second action. It's too bad. Yeah. 4 cunning, 2 stealth. Yeah, I don't have enough funding to do both. So, oh well. Alright, so let me grab the 1 infamy, 1 espionage, 1 funding. Oops. And then hacker. Now, as a question, would I... Oh, actually, this squad can do it by itself, so... Now I have a tough decision to make. So that's going to move this up to 3, and it's going to move this up by 2. Oh, no, I can't do it by itself. Never mind. All right, yeah, I tried. Yeah, this is going to be tough. All right. So that's complete. Phase 1 is done. Agents investigate moves up. Oh, I'm going to collect these 2 on phase 1. It's going to give me 2 fixers. I don't really care about the corruption right now. I want Faceless Henchman, specifically Faceless Henchman with stats that Boris does not have, because diplomacy is his weak spot. Alright. Now, in order to get over here, I would have to fund from here, and that's where I did my math wrong. I only have 1 funding. So... I'm in a rough spot where I will not be able to complete this mission, but since I committed to going there, I need to send people. So it's better to move these guys over, because I don't want them to get eaten by the agent here. Alternatively, I could let the agent get on top of them, and then I could just corrupt him when he gets there, which will then let these guys keep generating afterwards, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. Other problem is, though, that whoever I move over here is going to get eaten by the agent afterwards, because I do not have enough funding now to do the rest of my round, since I'm going to be moving one guy over here, not completing it, not giving funding, and therefore cannot fund my move over to there. That's rough. Okay. Sean, bad math. Okay, I guess the way I can solve this is if I move Boris's squad over there, the agent will hit him and he can soak up 1 damage, which is all the agent will do, since there's only 1 high alert token on the Interpol right now. So they do a number of damage equal to the high alert tokens on both their headquarters and whatever tile that they land on. So I can at least salve the damage, but that's going to be a rough round for me. So, alright, I will move Boris' squad over. Pay the funding. Womp womp. Look one more time mournfully at the 2 and 4, and I do not have the cunning in order to pull this off. And... yeah, that's the end of my phase 2. Bummer. Okay. Round 2 is not going well for me, guys. Okay. End of phase 2. Agent moves over here. I'm going to spend my corruption, which is equal to the number of high alert tokens on these 2 tiles. And since there's only 1 now, since I just collected everything, I'm going to go ahead and use that, which is another bummer, because had I known I was going to do that, I could have collected this round and had a 3rd spoil. So I'm making a ton of mistakes here, guys. Doing great. I know how to play this game, though, I promise. All right. Last phase. I have no funding. There's no way I can get here. My deployment fails. I should have probably bought more funding with my requisition resources in the beginning. Agents investigate after phase 3. Does 1 damage due to the high alert token on the headquarters. No high alert tokens here, so 1 damage in total. Boris is able to prevent 1 damage on the tile he occupies, so I will soak that damage up, being the good bodyguard that I am. My only saving grace is I will generate a spoil on here, and then I will end my round. Ugh, that hurt. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so agent's where he needs to be. I'm going to go ahead and voluntarily recall... Who's on this squad? Hacker and Thief. Oh, I didn't flip that. That's probably why. All right, I have to figure out what I'm going to do. So, voluntary recall. That's why I was checking that. I wanted to see whether I want to bring these guys back. Since these guys can't do anything out there, I'm totally going to bring them back. He still has a chance to do this if I send in some more support, but honestly it'd be better if I just reformed a squad and did it, so I'll bring them back as well. Oh, come on, guys. Come on, Tabletop Simulator, be nice to me. Alright, so voluntary recall. Now I tied the Goodman. I don't have much to tie this round. I'll go ahead and toss that in there because I can use it for requisition resources anyway, and the Infamy as well. So I'm down to 0 resources in my personal vault. Yay. Complete Goodman directives. I doubt I did anything worthwhile this time. That was a larceny mission, not a trafficking mission. But I did complete a larceny mission. Alright, cool. So I get 1 VP, and then Goodman gets 1 Infamy. If Goodman is not in play, it's whoever the team leader is, and I'm the de facto team leader throughout the game since I'm the only player. So I will grab 1 VP and 1 Infamy, which technically is in my personal vault right now because I can't tithe after the tithe action. Side jobs, we already know I can't do any of those. And then Goodman's plotting actions. Oh, also... I claimed this, so that's no longer on the board. So the new Goodman directive is going to be complete a vicious mission. These are all pretty straightforward. Now, some of them are. And the new gadget will be look at all the inactive Doomsday missions and return them to table in any order, still inactive. That's awesome for single player. I'm going to need to grab that. So basically what that allows me to do is it'll allow me to look through all of these and then put them back down in any order without flipping them. Once I flip these, it's more expensive to hire these guys over here. They're the ones that are not in play. So basically it can give me an advance notice of what's on the board, and then... Oh, God. I didn't draw the 3 into my vault. Part of the setup where after I put the ones on the table, you get 3 in your vault and 3 stay in the world. Then I can swap some of them out here if these are better than what's on the table. So mass destruction, disruption, thought control. I think one of those is one of my affinities. Yeah, kidnap military and political leaders, this one right here. That is one of my affinities, so that gets me an extra VP. Just a decent combat mission, so I could probably pull that one off. So that might be one that I'd want to swap out, as opposed to Corrupt the UN, which is a very diplomatic mission, which Boris just, frankly, sucks at. Alright, and destroy IXPs, shutting down the interwebs. Also not something Boris is great at. Requires a lot of cunning, which he doesn't have, and stealth, which he's not great at either. Okay, so more coffee, so I don't make mistakes this round. World's going to react. We have hidden even number, so we flip another global event. Affinities do not double resource mission rewards, which is fine, because I've already gotten the only one that I can get. In order to remove that, I'd have to get all the vice, larceny, and financial missions off the war map. That's not going to happen. 2/3 of the resource missions are those. So, well, it doesn't look like I'm getting any doubled resources if I get any vice missions in the future. So it's going to be a rough game, folks. Okay. starting round 3, kicking it off with Interpol CIA security sweep. Nobody's on there, so no damage taken. Again, that only really applies if I leave squads there at the end of the round, which is just dumb. Coordination, requisition resources, plotting, build gadgets, and commit forces. So I'm going to build my squads. These guys are going to stay here and just recruit me a ton of fixers, because why not, and corruption, because that'll help. I need to knock this one out and this one out, because with those 2 data cache, I can start making gadgets, especially that stolen dossier thing, which would be great. And then I can start generating spoils, which gives me more thieves and data cache, and funding, which I'm sore need of as well. Alright, so the agent is going to end up moving 1, 2, and 3, so whoever moves here is going to have to book by the end of the round. Unless I put Boris there, and then he can soak it up. So that's what I'm probably going to do. So let's clear the squads off. We'll start from scratch here. I will start... Oh, I probably remove... excuse me, move the attribute tokens as well. So I'll throw Boris in a squad, and he just needs an extra stealth, so I'll find somebody with 1 stealth that I don't need for anything else later. For the other mission, I need 2 stealth and 4 cunning, which would be great if I had 2 hackers. Do I have 2 hackers? Well, I got 1 hacker over here that's still busy. So 1 hacker, that's definitely going to happen. Now I need 1 stealth and 2 cunning. Ouch. Well, that's 1 stealth or 2 stealth and 1 cunning, and then this guy will provide the last cunning. All right, so these 3 guys, not the most efficient squad, but they'll be able to pull it off. So between them, they have 1 stealth, 2, 3 stealth. Diplomacy, 2 from him, nothing from anybody else. And cunning, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. All that's really important is that we have 4 cunning and 2 stealth, which we have. So the squad 3 is back in the game, and then that means the assassin can go along with Boris for squad 2, and that nets me a total of 4 combat, 3 stealth, and 1 cunning. Not the most talky group. Alright, let's do this better than I did last round. Okay, so I have no funding. So it won't cost me any funding to go out here, because I get a discount of 1 going up from the base, squad of 3 or less, so it's only funding of 1. I am going to complete that, then leave them there, and then Boris can defend himself from the agent when he shows up. Second squad will also be free to deploy out here. I'll deploy them and then generate a spoil for their second action. So we'll do 1, then the agent will move, 2, and 3. Alright. That shouldn't cost me any funding, so I should be good there. I won't need any corruption. Thank you, AJ. Shouting words of support from the side. Side note, AJ Murphy, my lovely girlfriend, manages the page of the Soulless Seamstress for all of your costuming and cosplay and custom clothing needs. So go check her out. Also, bears a striking resemblance to Cassandra O'Shea here. So, yeah, complete coincidence. Funny enough, I did design this character years before I met AJ, but when doing the board game version, I might have asked the artist to... well, that's the old artwork, too. Gotta fix that. I might have asked the artist to paint it to her like this, so yay. Alright, let's do it. We have placed staging markers. We don't have to worry about revealing and removing the blank ones because we're not doing the competitive version. And now we go on to Villainy of the third round. So I'm going to fund my movement for my first squad. Womp womp. Alright, I have 3 combat from Boris, 2 stealth between the just from the assassin alone actually is the 2 stealth, and Boris has 1 cunning because he has been known to rub his 2 brain cells together from time to time, and I have a thought. So, we're able to complete this, get 3 Infamy. Oh, and I didn't do anything for requisition resources, which probably should have done, but oh well. I'll keep my Infamy for now. You need a lot of Infamy for the end game. So, speaking of which, grab 3 Infamy for completing that mission. Finish up phase 1. Agents investigate. CIA agent is still on his lunch break. He doesn't start moving till I reveal these, so he's going to be fine. And then, come on, assassin. No time to sleep. Now we're into phase 2. Phase 2, I have 3 guys in the squad, which normally cost 1 to deploy. I get a 1 discount, so I will move that for free. Need 2 stealth and 4 cunning, which we know that I have from these 3 guys down here. So I will collect 1 infamy, 2 data cache, and a funding. Oh, and my apologies. Last round I also generate a spoil here, which I will do again this round. So that was 1 infamy, 2 data cache, and a funding. Okay, looking a little less barren in my vault right now. Doing much better this round. Agent moves. I'm going to do these guys as affinity action first now, so I stop forgetting it. I will generate a 4th spoil, which is making this tile incredibly dangerous if this agent comes around. For my 3rd phase action, I do have the 1 stealth and 3 cunning, which is less than what was on the other side of the tile, so this squad's going to be able to generate a spoil here. Go ahead, just move that one on there. As phase 3. Agent investigates, attacks me here, does 1 damage from the Interpol headquarters, 0 damage from this tile right here, and Boris is able to soak that with his bodyguard ability down here. As a side note, we're going to take a brief interlude for something adorable here. My cat twitching violently as he snores on the desk. That's my supervillain inspiration right there. Alright. Okay. So that is the end of villainy for this round. So now we get back into monologuing, voluntary recall and such. I don't see Boris being useful out here for this next round, so I'm going to go ahead and voluntarily recall him back. I could start racking up some thieves over here on the larceny side. I do need to get these guys out of here before phase 3. So phase 2, they're going to have to move. So phase 1 they can collect, phase 2 they can move. So these guys can stay around. 1, 2, 3. These guys can collect on phase 3, then corrupt the agent if I have corruption, which I can get from here. Okay, so and actually, I can generate and then collect on round 2 and collect 2 corruption and leave these guys here, pay off him twice. Okay, so that's what I'll do. I'll leave both these guys there then. And so voluntary recall will just be that 1 squad. All right, tithe the Goodman. I do actually have stuff to tithe this time. I'm going to throw my infamy over there. Go ahead and keep my funding. VP doesn't need to be tithed. It's not really a resource. And data cache is going to stay with me because I'm going to build some gadgets. All right. Side jobs and Goodman directives. Complete a trafficking mission. Wow, no, neither one of those was trafficking. Vicious mission. Neither one of those was vicious. Larceny and exploitation. 5 funding and faceless henchman. I still don't have a soldier, so I'm failing on all of those. Don't have either one of my side jobs completed, so let's go ahead and flip out objective and a gadget for Goodman's plotting actions. Execute a successful mission at Interpol HQ, which right now would be very easy since the requirements are 0, but my benefits would be 0. The benefits and difficulty for the headquarters are based on how many high alert tokens are there. So right now this is 0, and I would add a high alert token for nothing. So that's more later game. I will do that one. Oh wait, that's at Interpol, not CIA. I need more coffee. This is the last time I do this early on a weekend. All right, Interpol. I could totally do that, but then I would be bumping into my other side job here. But I can always take down the Interpol headquarters later. Hologram generator. This one's really good. I can remove henchmen between 2 squads, and this That's the old version of the card as well. I'll have to update that. It actually only works in phase 1, I believe. But it allows me to switch stuff out on the board, which would be great to swap stuff out of Squad 1 or Squad 3 right now. Okay, cool. So I have two different technologies that I want to grab now, 2 gadgets that I want to grab. All right, Goodman's plotting actions, world reacts. Yeah, already in round 7. I'm not feeling confident here. No global events because we didn't hit an even number. We flip off to the next round. Okay, so starting off, Interpol CIA security sweep. No squads in the 2 headquarters. We are good. Going to coordination. I'm going to start off by buying gadgets. So first off, no, don't have to put that anywhere. I'm just going to delete it. And I'm going to grab the stolen dossier, just because that'll give me some insight on the Doomsday missions on the table. That'll also be really good because some of the Doomsday plans involve specific Doomsday missions on the table, and so I can look at what they are, then look at the Doomsday plan, and then decide whether or not I want to swap them out for cheaper prices, because it's much more expensive to swap them out once they're flipped over, and even more expensive once they're completed. So this will be very helpful for me for late game strategy. And then combat armor, there we go, explosive rounds. So I definitely want this, but that's, since I just bought a technology or a gadget, this now went up to 2. So now it's going to cost me 2 to buy the next one. Fortunately, I have Infamy, so I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3 Infamy, which will buy me a data cache, doing that through the requisition resources action. I'm then going to spend both of these and buy explosive rounds. So now I have 2 gadgets over here. Stolen dossier, explosive rounds. So now if I need to, I can place this card next to a squad and they will get +2 combat for the round, and then I retrieve it at the start of the monologuing phase. One question that people have asked me before is, can you swap them out like between squads as the round goes on? No, since gadgets, unless they specifically state, have to be used during the plotting action, which is right now, you can't swap them out mid-round. All right. So I'll decide who gets that this round, but that gives me effectively a soldier without the stealth for the round. So, okay, since squads 1 and 3 are out on the board, I can't touch them. So I'm going to disband squad 2. And we'll reformat it with sorry, getting messages. So we'll reformat that with something else here. Now this is the part of the game where I'm going to have to figure out if I want to buy some espionage and switch some of these tiles out and go for specific things that I need, or if I want to start generating spoils on the existing tiles. So let's take a quick look at everything that's on the board. Having some scientists would be great. I don't think I want to get rid of that. Hackers and thieves would be good. Soldier. Definitely need some soldiers. Or at least one so I can complete this mission. This mission over here, which will give me only 1 VP, but it'll also give me 2 corruption and 1 infamy. So, all right. Also gives me a soldier and data cache. That's also really useful too. All right, and this one's easier. I can do that one with Boris. This one I can't do alone with Boris. So I like that one better. Arms dealing just kind of sounds like something Boris would be, happy to do. So I figure these guys can kind of act on their own. Do I have funding? Okay. So I might be able to generate, collect, moves here, corrupt him, move this guy over here. How do I want to do this? Because I also want to be doing actions over here as of phase, I guess that would have to be phase 3, which is not that great. Alright, so I guess that means phase 1, taking my action here, phase 2, taking my action here, because since larceny is not my affinity, it takes me actions to actually generate spoils. Whereas this one is vice. That's why I've been able to be doing it on the side while my guys are doing other things. 2, and then he'll hit here round 3, or after phase 3. So maybe I can move these guys off on phase 3 over to here. That means I'll only be able to grab one thing, which could be like 1 data cache or a thief. And then, who's in squad 3? No combat in squad 3, so they can't do it by themselves. So it might be better to leave them there for corruption purposes and then move Boris out here for phase 3. Okay. We're going to try that. So basically what I'm deciding to do is I'm going to get Boris out here phase 3 so he can start doing stuff. These guys are going to earn some corruption and faceless henchmen. Likewise with these guys. And hopefully it all works out. Because not as confident with my progress right now. So we'll see. I'm really soft on Infamy. And don't have much funding. Alright. Is there anything else I want to do for requisition resources? How many guys do I have here? 1, 2... Ah! I'm going to go ahead and lock that tile since these aren't going to be moved anytime soon. 3, 4. And he's going to get 1 more before he can do that, so that's 5. He needs 2, so he'll be able to get 3 fixers and 2 corruption. Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, alternatively, I could do all 3 actions over here, and then I could generate, and then on the 3rd action before he gets there, collect, and that would mean I can get like a data cache and a thief, or 2 thieves. It's tough. There's a gadget out there that gives you a 2nd affinity. I would love to have that right now. It would be very helpful. All right. Hope is not a plan from Jesse Robbins, who looks surprisingly like the character I'm playing right now. So that is a complete coincidence. Hope is not a plan, though. That is very true. All right. I think I am actually going to do that. I'm going to put all my eggs in one basket here. That way, since there's already 1 high alert token here, I can generate 2 more and then the 3rd round collect and then corrupt the agent as he comes by. And that will set me up to do more stuff next round. And I hope it works out. All right. That is the end of scheming. So we're going to go to villainy now, funding deployment. My deployment is on the tile I'm already at, which means I get a discount for it. And since it's normally the cost of 1 for a squad of 3, the funding cost is 0. So my action will be to simply put another high alert token on here. Dig through my tokens here. Come on, 3, get out of the way. I will also generate another spoil here through my affinity. End of phase 1. Agents investigate. Beginning of phase 2. Through my affinity, I'm going to go ahead and collect all 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as I said before, I'm going to go ahead and do 2 corruption. 1, 2. And was it 3 thieves? Fixers. 3 fixers. Thieves is the other one. I'm going to send them all back home. I don't need them on that tile. 1, 2, 3. So now I'm like chock full of diplomacy. I actually might not even need that 3rd fixer, but I'm going to take him anyway because faceless henchmen are very useful. All right. So that was the affinity action. This action is going to be generating another spoil. End of phase 2. Agents investigate. This guy attacks here. He's still only got 1 high alert token. And I'm going to corrupt him so that he leaves me alone. Hey, by the way, I got blackmail material of you and your mistress, so don't make me send this out to the news and or your wife. Okay, no problem. Do what you need to do. All right. Okay. So phase... so because this guy is here, he is raising the difficulty up by 1 across the board. Actually, no, he's been corrupted, so we ignore him completely. That's even better. My affinity action, I'm going to generate a spoil. And then my real action, I'm going to 1, 2, 3, collect 3 spoils off of here, which I will translate into... Oh, sorry, I bought a second gadget. I forgot to move that to 3. My bad. So I would have to get all 3 on data cache if I wanted another technology. And while the hologram generator would be great, and completing my side job would be great, I really want Faceless Henchman right now. So I am going to do 2 thieves. Copied the wrong thing. All right, let's try that again. 1, 2, 2 thieves, and a data cache. So that'll be my 3 spoils that I just collected. Agents investigate, goes to attack here, same thing, 1 damage. Spend my last corruption. Womp womp. And this guy already took his action, so I don't need to worry about that. Okay, cool. Alright, so that's the end of villainy. Now we get to monologuing, voluntary recall. Questioning whether or not I want to keep this guy over here now that I have a good amount of thieves and data cache, because I can just start racking them up over here with Boris. And I don't need to corrupt if 1, 2, 3. He won't even get to me this round. So I can... Yeah, I'm going to do that. Alright, so I don't need... I'm going to voluntarily recall this guy. Or not. Yeah, because I would have to deploy out there anyway, because it's not my affinity. My little mental juggling right there was, do I leave this guy out here for the future? And if I wanted to go out here and generate spoils, I'd have to deploy out there anyway, since it's not my affinity, it's larceny. So bringing him home is effectively safer, because he can't do anything out there anyway, and I could just redeploy out there for free from the base. So, yeah, no benefit to leaving him out there. Just putting him in harm's way. Okay. That was voluntary recall. Now we're tithing to Goodman. Jesse comments, corruption in government officials. How topical. All right. We parallel realism in this game. Real world events you can really sink your teeth into. Tithe to Goodman. I don't really have anything I can tithe in here. Like I said, I'm really sucking on Infamy over here. Usually at the end of the game for Syndicate, you need like 50 or 60 Infamy in the box. And as you can see for Doomsday missions, you're rocking about 8 Infamy per, which means if I complete 4, it's about 32 Infamy right there, but that also means I can't spend any for requisition resources if I'm not consistently pulling them in. I also need espionage, which I'm not getting from any of these tiles. That was an oversight when I was picking tiles in the beginning. I didn't really pick anything that had espionage out here, which means I'm going to need to buy a bunch of espionage in order to get these open. So, not doing great there. Alright, well, now that I'm done lamenting my choices, I don't have any Goodman directives I can complete this round. No side jobs I can complete this round. We move on to Goodman's plotting actions, which will flip over another one of these. Teamwork. All named henchmen have 1 or less betrayal triggers. Pretty sure I haven't gained any more betrayal triggers. I still have 1. Actually, no, I don't have 1 on Boris does not have a gadget because I got 1. There's no other henchmen in play, so they can't complete more... Let me hide this little thing here. They can't complete more loyal side jobs than me. So yeah, I have no betrayal triggers right now, which is actually really good. So I'll be able to complete that one next round and gain 5 infamy. That'll help. A little bit of lifeblood. Meanwhile, these squads are being disbanded. I am like rocking the stealth, and cunning, and diplomacy, which is kind of funny being a squad of Boris, and I have no combat. So we're going to fix that this round. And did I flip a gadget? I don't think we flipped a gadget. We did not flip a gadget. False flag operation. So spend a corruption, and you can move the agent 1 tile in either direction. Also really good. And Ninja is now putting his feet up against the screen and moving it because he wants me to play on hard mode. I'll scoot you back just a little bit, buddy. Okay, there we go. World reacts. We have hidden even numbers. We're going to flip another global event. So phase 3 villainy actions automatically fail. Satellite and radar surveillance. So I have to redraw the routes, which means that I have to deploy to an agent's tile and return 1 funding to the world for each trafficking mission on the war map. Oh no. Only 1 trafficking mission. Okay, so that's actually good. And if I deploy there and spend 1 funding, which I have, yay, I can get rid of that. Otherwise, my phase 3 action is just going to fail. So I need to get rid of that immediately. Unfortunately, that'll give me a VP once I do it, because these are considered objectives. So whoever completes it gets a VP. All right. Ouch. Okay. Wasn't planning on deploying out here early game, but I need to deploy there either round 1 or round 2, which means I can deploy back out here round 1 and start getting data cache, and that can just be my round. That's going to mess up my plans for the trafficking mission over here, which is data cache and soldiers. But, you know, that's why global events suck, because they mess with your plans. All right. So we're back to scheming of the next round. Security sweep of the 2 headquarters does damage to anybody there. Nobody's there. Coordination, we're going to requisition resources, plotting, build gadgets, commit forces. I didn't even use my explosive rounds that last round. Forgot about those. And I can technically do this at any time. It's just a matter of when I want to actually start messing with stuff. Yeah, alright, I'm going to have to do that. So I'm going to plan to go here, all 3 actions, and basically what I'm going to be doing is just harvesting data cache right now. And then next round I can deploy out here and start recruiting soldiers, I guess. And I'm really going to have to make a decision of whether or not I reveal the Doomsday Plan at that point. Because at that point I would have 1, 2, 3 actions left to complete the game. And it's not looking good. Jesse's telling me I could use some espionage. Yes, I could. I am an intelligence-starved organization right now. Espionage is one of the rare things on resource missions, as a side note, partially for this reason, so you have to buy it with Infamy. But it also benefits certain other characters that have abilities and or access to tech that can then use espionage-related items cheaper. So, Alright, let's see if I have anything in the vault with espionage. Political corruption, I can get espionage. I don't get double though because it's financial. Smuggling ring has espionage. Trafficking, so I wouldn't get double on that one either. And CBRNE is vicious, which I also wouldn't get double on. Not worth it, unfortunately, because I would have to spend espionage to swap things out. So just to show you how that works. Switch out a resource mission. I could pay an espionage and move a resource mission from the war map to my vault, and then I could replace it with another mission. So granted, my espionage would be net 0, and then I can get some other stuff as well from the rewards, and maybe get some VP and such. So maybe some, it might be worth it. Okay, I'm talking myself into this. So let's find the ones that have espionage, and then we'll go from there. My screen froze for a second, and I had a little heart murmur, so I thought the game was going to shut down and live broadcast would be ended. World ends. Chaos. Okay. So this one on the spoil side. So basically what I'm looking at right now is what are the rewards that I can potentially get? Does it tie into Goodman directives up here? And then what are the spoils I can get afterwards that can help me? Scientists and data cache would help. Hacker and data cache, also good. And since I have plenty of diplomacy, because the main difference between scientists and hackers is one has diplomacy, one has stealth. So hackers are actually better for me right now. So smuggling rings look good. It's also easier to do. I could rock those with 2 thieves and either a scientist or a fixer, which I have just oodles of. And then they would be able to start generating spoils. So what I will do, I will spend, during my plotting action, or will requisition resources and spend this espionage. I'm going to flip out, so I'm going to move my 3 here. I'm going to flip out this tile, so I get to unlock this. Excuse me, Mr. Agent, I'm going to go ahead and swap that out. Well, actually, that's considered occupied right now. Fun. So since the agent's there, it's considered occupied, which means it would cost me 2 espionage. Do any of these have corruption that I would get as a reward? I would have to buy a corruption in order to make this work as well. Or, no, I could just bring Boris, and then that way he can soak the damage. Okay, so this still works. So what I will do is I will swap this one out. There's a method to my madness. Trust me on this one. Go ahead and throw that back in here. I'm going to then put the smuggling ring out here. That requires 4 stealth, 1 cunning, 1 diplomacy. So I will... Is it 1 cunning? No, there's more. I will create a squad with Boris, who will take care of 1 of the stealth and the cunning. This is going to be more expensive now. Damn it, Sean. I was going to bring Boris out so he could soak the damage, but then now I'm going to have to bring 4 agents out, which is going to cost me funding, which means I can't pay off the agent when he comes out there. Making my life difficult here. Alternatively, I can collect here and get a corruption right off the bat, which is kind of a waste of an action, but I'll have to do that. All right, Boris, sorry, you're staying home. So we're going to do a thief, which takes care of 2 of the cunning and 2 of the stealth. Another thief, which is another 2 stealth, and we'll toss a fixer in there in order to take care of the diplomacy. All right, now, similar to what we were saying before, did these get locked? How did those get locked? That's weird. So 1, 2, and 3 out there. I don't think they need combat for anything, so I'm not going to bother giving them explosive rounds. Not going to worry about the stolen dossier. Probably going to use this at the beginning of the next round and reveal the Doomsday Plan, though. So, okay. Drink my coffee. I have no more excuses. All right. Oops. Put these back over. Start villainy. So first off, I'm going to fund deployment. A squad of 3 or less. Going to go ahead and throw this guy out here. This guy's action for the affinity is going to be to collect this and take a corruption. These guys compare their attributes. 2 thieves take care of the stealth and the cunning, and the fixer takes care of the diplomacy. So they're going to be able to complete this, which nets me 2 infamy and 1 espionage. So net gain of 0 on that one. Meh. And it's going to cost me corruption too. It's hurting. All right. That was phase 1. Agents investigate. I could let them just kill one of the guys here, but it hurts me to do that. Like, literally, I could sacrifice a thief right here and save a corruption. So is a thief worth a corruption? I have 3 right now. No. So spend the corruption, corrupts the agent, so I don't take any damage there, and we basically just ignore him as if he's not there. Affinity action, going to go ahead and generate a spoil over there, and I will also generate a spoil over here. Okay. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. All right. Agents investigate, moves on. Oh, I was forgetting something. Sorry. So phase 2, I did deploy there. I deployed to an agent's tile, and I'm going to return 1 funding to the world, which is going to get rid of this and give me a VP. So now I will be able to hire one of these other guys during plotting, and so that's going to get real next round. Next round's going to make or break me. I'm either going to be on the path to victory, or I'm going to be running scared from authorities as they close in. Okay, now into phase 2, agents investigate. Beginning of phase 3, I'm going to go ahead and generate again over here, and I will generate over here as my actual phase 3 action. Okay. Into phase 3. He moves over there, and we have ended villainy. So voluntary recall. I need to leave these guys out here because I'm going to need to collect these. Not happy about that. But I can collect these and collect these next round, and then start hopefully getting some soldiers, or I might even just be focusing on Doomsday missions at that point. I'm going to probably have to spend a lot of Infamy in order to get espionage, and then rack up a bunch of Infamy completing Doomsday missions. So it's going to be a rough end game here, but I don't know. I haven't given up yet. I have confidence. Hope is not a plan, but tons of hope. All right, voluntary recall, leaving both those guys out there. Tie it to Goodman. I'm going to be stingy and keep all of my stuff. Actually, no reason to. I'll just don't need espionage or data cache in the field, so I'll protect myself from the enhanced investigations card that's been out on the table since turn 1. Complete Goodman's directives. I just completed a trafficking mission, which I don't think helps here. Oh, yes it does. Alright, so I get VP and Infamy. One of the benefits of having a bad memory is I surprise myself all the time. It's like, oh yeah, there was a method to my madness. I was doing that on purpose. Alright. Alright. I still can't complete side jobs. I don't have enough soldiers, and I don't have 3 technologies or 3 gadgets. Alright, so Goodman's plotting actions. Flip another one of these out. Complete an exploitation mission, which, man, all these just basic complete missions are flipping out after I do them. As a side note, there's obviously one card for every type of mission out there, and there's 20 total Goodman objectives, and I've gotten like 4 of those, which is just statistically improbable, which is why I don't have dice in my games, because dice and stats hate me. Alright, pick 1 squad during plotting. High alert tokens on a mission tile with the squad do not raise the corruption cost of corrupting an agent onto this tile. That would have been great to have a few rounds ago. Just wonderful. Like, I would have been stacking up miles and miles of of high alert tokens there, and would not have worried about high corruption costs, because cloaking devices would hit all of my ill-gotten gains. Alright, World reacts. I'm going to go ahead and move this up. We are now into the end game. I will be surprised if this game goes on for another half an hour, so we're probably going to beat the time frame by about 45 minutes here. Okay, next round, Interpol CIA security sweep, boom boom, nothing there. Requisition resources, I'm going to go ahead and spend, well, first off, let's take a look and see if it matters. I am going to say, General Goodman, it's time for me to see your Doomsday Plan. I am ready. I have everything I need. I'm totally lying. I don't have any soldiers. Please don't have something high combat. Alright, primed for harvesting. It's not enough to take over, we need to be in a position to thrive. Let's set the stage for prosperity and control. General Goodman. 4 completed Doomsday missions, so far so good. 6 completed resource missions, and a minimum of 3 total spoils generated and uncollected on the war map per named henchman in play. Okay, So that's actually not too bad with only one player, because that means, because normally if you have like 4 players, it's 12 spoils in the map. But that means I only have to have 3 spoils, and I do have that one out there. So this actually shouldn't be that bad. And I already have all 6 completed here. And then I have to have 50 Infamy in the vault, which means I'm going to have to complete more than 4 Doomsday missions. 16, 24, 32, 40... I'm going to have to complete all 6 and then still find Infamy elsewhere, because I have 1, 2, 3... enough to buy 3 espionage here, a 4th espionage here, and I'll still need 2 more, which means another 4 Infamy. No, wait, hold on. Got it right here. So I need another 3 Infamy. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48... I need another 5 Infamy total in order to pull this off. So that's probably going to have to come from Goodman directives and everything like that. Maybe gadgets here. Oh, actually, that means research gadgets. I was going to say there's some Doomsday mission that give you gadgets, but that's not researching them. The wording is specific on there. Okay, so neither one of those is going to help me. Oh, I totally could have completed that. Well, hopefully I don't... Well, I don't think I'll be able to get any betrayal triggers by the end of this round. So I'll complete that. That'll give me my 5 Infamy, and I'll be like just at the right amount here. Now the trick is, I'm going to end up using the Stolen Dossier now, because... man, yeah, it's... No, I'm not going to. I'm going to have to flip them all anyway. Yeah, won't help me. Unless... I'm second-guessing myself. Because it's more expensive to flip once you have a... Oh, I'm also going to spend some VP here to hire another named henchman. I'll have to do somebody that will benefit me here. So Emerson's pretty good at stealth. You guys got a lot of cunning, but we also get their special abilities too. Jin Fang's abilities probably won't help us too much. Axel can make it easier for me to research technology, which is good. He can get the technology track back down to 1 with the cost of a data cache. So effectively, I can get another technology or another gadget for 2. All right. So many choices. So many choices. What I might end up having to do is complete a bunch of Doomsday missions this round, and then next round swap some stuff out over here, gain as much Infamy as I can while fending off agents and such, and then I should be able to complete it next round. So actually, I'm in a much better position than I thought I was. I got lucky with this one here. So, all right, let's do this. So I'm going to go ahead and requisition a resource here and spend it. And I'm going to flip over my first Doomsday tile, which will be this one, and that's important because that's where this guy will move at the end of the first phase. Flipping over the first one also puts a high alert token on the CIA headquarters because they've just been alerted bad stuff's going on in the world. And the first one is infiltrate Asian intelligence agencies, which is a thought control mission. Boris cares not about thought control missions, but this will allow me to take 3 resource missions from the world, which may help because then I can get vice missions, which currently don't double anything. Yeah, affinities do not double resource mission rewards. Pfft, new blood. There's no way I'm getting rid of that one. I'm not moving all those things off the board. All right. But that one is pretty even across the attributes, so that one should be pretty easy to fix. All right, I'm going to spend 3 Infamy, requisition Espionage, which is then being immediately spent to flip another one here. Power Seizure, supplant major African warlords. This one is more in Boris's wheelhouse. The problem is I don't have soldiers, so I'm actually short on combat, which is ironic. Ugh. Okay. Spending... Oh, but. Ninja, stop messing with my monitor, dude. Ninja's very excited. Like, he's paws up on the monitor and everything. He's all about this game. He's a cat, though, so he's evil. Yeah, I could possibly recruit somebody. Yugo also has a special ability where you can like super soldier up Faceless Henchmen, which then kills them at the end of the round. But I could use that for a bunch of combat, so we'll see. I'm going to spend another 3 Infamy here for another Espionage and immediately spend it to reveal another mission. Now, as a side note, I'm doing all this by the 4th action on here, reveal a Doomsday mission. So I flip a Doomsday mission from inactive to active, add 1 high alert token to the CIA building. It's the first time it's flipped. So that's where I'm getting all this stuff. So this is one of Boris's missions too. Again, unfortunately, I don't have any soldiers, so I'm really short on combat. But I do have the explosive rounds, which helps. So that means I just need 1 assassin with me, and I can knock that one out for combat. A second assassin would take care of the stealth, although it might be better to bring a couple hackers along. Yeah, okay, so that one I can do. That one's within my grasp. All right, spending another 3. Yeah, nope, not too many. 2. So 1, 2, 3. Buying an Espionage, flipping another Doomsday mission. Take over South American cartels. It's a big stealth mission, really good for Emerson. Okay, and then I'm going to spend 1, 2, last 3 to flip another one. Burgle Fort Knox, power seizure. So some of these are really good because they're going to generate spoils over here, and unless the agent removes them, that helps me out with this as well. But I have to have squads there to defend them and such, so it's gonna get weird. I have no idea what this last one is, but I don't have enough to flip it right now. And now I have 1, 2, 3 rounds in order to pull this all off. The other problem is, as this guy moves around, if he comes across a completed mission, he puts a high alert token on it, and then will take the mission away completely if he hits it again. And there's a global event, which means he can take him away with 1, which is awful. So I got to be very careful, because I'm going to flip a global event every round now. Okay. So if I wanted to, probably should have flipped it in reverse order, because then I could have gone to this one first and what have you. But, you know, that's me not using my head. 1, 2, 3. So he's going to touch all 3 of these this round, which means if I can focus on these last 2 over here, I can wait till next round before he touches those, which will also show me what the global event is and let me know how paranoid I have to be about him touching completed tiles. This will also populate larceny missions with spoils, so I'll get 2 there and 2 there. 1, 2, 3. This guy will knock these spoils out when he gets there, but these will stay on, which means I can get some free data cache and stuff like that. So Burgle Fort Knox will be a really good one for me to do, and I have the capacity to do it with all my stealth and cunning and everything. So that's definitely on the agenda for today. Boris and a few other people can do this one as well. I just realized I have no funding, and these are going to require big squads. So great job spending all your espionage, Sean. 2 spoils and all completed vice missions. That's only this one right here. So that doesn't give me, that gives me corruption. This one gives me funding. Okay, so my first action can be here. I can collect a couple funding, and that'll give me some lifeblood. I can then go here, complete this. That'll give me a lot of infamy, VP, and it'll also spawn a couple extra on here, which I can then immediately collect as part of my affinity action. Oh no, because I have to collect before I complete missions. Crap. So what I just realized is the order of operations, generate or collect spoils, happens before completing missions and collecting mission rewards. And this mission reward allows me to generate spoils on completed vice missions, which would be after. So I definitely don't want to do that and then have the guys show up and rake them over the coals. So I'd have to do that round 1, which I might not be able to do because I don't think I can afford it. I don't have any funding. Ouch. All right. And I can't even do that even if I recruited a third faceless henchman. There's just not enough stealth. Because even with Jin and Emerson, who have 3 stealth apiece, that would bring me up to 7. And then again, I have explosive rounds, which gives me +2 combat. So if I... Oh, but I can't. I can only buy 1 faceless or named henchman right now. I only got 3 VP. Backed myself in a corner without funding, guys. That's what bad planning gets you. Yeah, the funding bottleneck in this game has been real. So... Yeah, I'm going to have to collect that first round. So that means I probably need to go here second round. End of first round, end of second round. And then third round, I can generate with this. Because then the agent's already there, it doesn't matter, and he'll move on. But I don't even know if I can get there third round. I don't think I'm going to have enough funding. It's going to take me 1 funding to get here, and it'll probably take me 2 funding to get here. So yeah, okay. All right, let's try this out. I could always use my other funding to go over here and grab a couple data cache, which will then, I suppose, yeah. All right. Those aren't really going to help me out. Well, yeah, those aren't going to help me out right now. Ooh, but it will generate there, which means I can roll over, collect the 2 from Burgle Fort Knox, collect 2 more funding, and then get hit by the agent. At this point, I might be willing to sacrifice some guys because I'll have corruption. But okay, I got a plan for this round. So first action, I'm going to have to collect over here. Second action, I'm going to be collecting over here. Third action, I'm going to be moving over here. And I don't even have to... I can move there for free. That's going to be great. So I'll create a third squad for that. No, I can't, because both my squads are already out here. Boo! Alright. I was thinking I could get a third squad to move from base to here for free, but since 2 of my squads are in the field and I need another squad to complete this, I'm going to have to move out here, which doesn't get a discount. I tried. Trying to save money. Been very bad with my funds this round, or this game. Okay. So, Burgle Fort Knox. Boris is not really needed for this one. But if I get Jin is also got an affinity for this mission. Surprise, surprise, her picture's on the tile. Which means that she can rack up an extra VP for me. Let's see her sheet. I don't think she has any abilities that are going to help me for this one. Because one of them is getting stuff from the... Oh, nope. Oh, what am I doing? One of them is getting stuff from the headquarters, and the other one is stealing from people. Yeah, neither one of those are going to help here. But 311, which means that if I hire her, it's 5 off from for stealth. So 3 thieves and a fixer. That would be a squad of 5, and I can nail that one. And that'll cost me 1 to go from base. So, all right, I'm going to spend 2 of my VP. Womp, womp. I'm going to hire Jin. Say, hey, Jin, need your help. I know you're doing stuff, but seriously, chip in here. Jin is going to go into... Let me ungrid her here. Squad 2 is out on the board. Squad 3 is open right now, so that's what I'm doing. Jin is going to be in the squad here. Oh, we only have 1 thief. Okay, so that sucks, because I thought I had more thieves, but the thieves are currently out in the field doing stuff. Like the annoying people that they are. This is why you voluntarily recall and rebuild squads and send them back out. Ouch. Alright, that hurts. I gotta redo that. And I need to combat, but I can give them explosive rounds, no problem there. Okay, so Jin has 3, which means I need 5 stealth. So 1 thief will bring it down to 3 stealth. The assassin, 2 assassins will take care of it, but then I still need 2 cunning and 2 diplomacy. So that's Jin for 1, the assassin, the thief, then yeah, I don't have the guys I need. I have way too many fixers and not enough thieves. Okay, because the way to get to 8 stealth would be 3 from Jin, 2 for the assassin, 2 for the thief, and then I would need to toss on, I guess, a hacker, because, okay, yeah, so the hacker would be able to do the last bit on there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And that brings us up to 1 cunning for Jin, 1 cunning for the thief, 2 cunning for the hacker. Yeah, and then the fixer. Okay, no, I'm good. I think. See how this goes. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, that's where my problem is. 4, 5. So I have a squad of 6, which is going to cost me 2 funding to get it over there. I only have 2 over here. So I'm going to have to use both my funding, which means they're not going to be able to go out here. One, 2, 3. So he's going to get all of the things off of there. I won't be able to collect the 2 spoils, basically, which makes me wonder whether or not I want to do that mission now or not. But I don't really have much of an option right now. That's the problem. Going to rescind my previous action here. I'm going to hire Emerson instead. When I do this, I mark that I've hired them because it costs more to hire them a second time. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Highlight token. If I only had more thieves. Why don't I have more thieves? I feel like I collected thieves last time and then didn't put them on my board. When I go back and watch this video, if I forgot to collect stuff throughout it, I'm going to be kicking myself and putting notes, making fun of myself on the post-production. So that's what I get for like trying to talk my way through things while thinking of strategy. Oops. These currently snap to the middle of the grid, which I want to take off so I can place them a little bit more free form on here. All right, so instead we're going to be going after South American cartels. Emerson takes care of 1 of the combats, 3 of the stealth, and 1 of the cunning. I'm going to give him explosive rounds, so that takes care of more of the combat. I will then toss an assassin on there, which takes care of the last combat, and 2 more of the stealth. So now we need 3 more stealth, 1 cunning, and 2 diplomacy. So let's see here. Since we don't have scientists, the only other thing that provides diplomacy is a fixer. So the fixer's a no-brainer. That means that we have the 2 diplomacy and 1 cunning. We already have 1 assassin accounted for on there, which takes care of everything but the stealth. So now we just need 3 more stealth. So we'll do these 2, because why not? Okay. So the fixer's taking care of the last 2. The assassins and Emerson are taking care of the combat along with the explosive rounds. And then Emerson, the 2 assassins, and the thief are taking care of the stealth. And we'll want to do that on round 3 so that it doesn't mess with these guys over here. Which means that I will generate another spoil up here and then collect, which will give me more funding. Possibly, I don't need a hacker, I need thieves. All right. Not operating off hope. We have a plan. Let's move my messy board around here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, stole one of my guys here. Okay, count this out. 3 from Emerson, 2 from an assassin, 2 from another assassin, 2 from the thief. Lots of stealth. Cunning, 1 from Emerson, 1 from the thief, 1 from the fixer. That's good, right? Yeah, okay. For some reason I was thinking 4 in my head. Combat, 1 from Emerson, 1 from an assassin, 1 from the second assassin, and then 2 from explosive rounds, which we'll give to them now. I'm going to put that right there. And then for diplomacy, we have a whole 2 from the fixer. And in case you guys are curious, this is Emerson's sheet right here. There's his 1 combat, 3 stealth, 1 cunning. He doesn't have anything that's going to help us this round as far as special abilities go. He does have an affinity for taking over South American cartels, so we'll get a VP if he helps us out with this. We're not going to worry about his betrayal triggers because he'll be gone by the end of the round, and we're not going to win this round. So, otherwise, if this was going to be the last round, I'd have to make sure that he was under 2 betrayal trigger or under 3 betrayal triggers, 2 or less. Otherwise, we couldn't win the game if he was in play and he had too many betrayal triggers. Can't take over the world with a disgruntled organization; just doesn't work. Another option I have for that I wasn't even thinking about for funding and everything, which I can do later, is raiding the CIA headquarters and Interpol headquarters, because I can get a ton of funding and data cache and infamy there. That's probably what I'm going to need to do next round. I just have to watch it, because if I get 3, if I basically do 2 missions there, it'll put 3 high alert tokens on there, which will make Boris more disgruntled, and I can't have that. So, all right. That's my decisions for the round. Let's see how I did. Nothing else for plotting or committing forces. Placing staging markers. All right. Now into villainy. Security sweep. Nobody's there. Fun deployment. These guys are free because they're staying there. Their action is going to be to generate another spoil. I'm also going to generate a spoil over here as my affinity action. That is the end of phase 1. Agents investigate, move up. Phase 2. I'm going to collect 1, 2. Oh, actually, this guy moves now too. We have to actually pay attention to that now. Collect 1, 2, 3. I mean, I have so many fixers. It hurts me to ask for more fixers, so I'm just going to collect 3 corruption. You know, that also hurts me not to collect faceless henchmen when I can, but it is what it is. Plus, I'm going to get 2 for free there in a bit anyway, so can't complain. The other action will be to collect 1, 2, 3 off of this tile. I'm going to collect all 3 funding because I am starved for funding right now. Agents investigate. I will spend a corruption to tell him to go away. That's the end of phase 2. Phase 3. We're going to go do our first Doomsday mission. Oh, got to move the CIA agent as well. Phase 3. That's another thing. I want to program some stuff once I learn how to use Tabletop Simulator better to automate the movement of the agents and everything. There's a really cool Twilight Imperium module out there. If you guys couldn't tell, I'm a big TI fan. And it's got a bunch of macros and stuff that make the basic elements of the game management really easy. So if I can get good at that, I'm going to build that in for the final version of the Tabletop Simulator version of this. So, yay. Okay. So now I have this Uber squad here with Emerson and all these guys. That would normally cost 2 funding in order to move. As we can see here, squad of 5 costs 2 funding. It's going to cost me 1 funding because I get a discount of 1 from coming from the base. Deploy out over here. Oh, shit. Sorry. I was supposed to be over there. Logistic error. My bad. I blame the vision of the small print over here. It's not a good excuse. Alright, so these guys move out here. We already did all the math. It's all marked on the sheet here. We know we have the combat, the stealth, the cunning, and the diplomacy. More so in some cases. So that's going to collect us 8 infamy, 3 victory points, and I'm going to generate 2 spoils on all completed vice missions. So let's start out with 8 infamy, 3 victory points, and then we're going to collect spoils on vice missions. We only have 1 completed vice mission out here. The agent is here, but he only does the damage when he arrives on the tile, so that's just going to get left alone, and I'll be able to collect those later, which will be a nice little bonus. We take a completed token. Thing's so big. Move it on to here. We got to be careful though, because that agent's going to come around and start messing with stuff. It's good that I got that corruption actually now that I think about it, because I might need to come back here and fend him off. That's all I'm doing for phase 3, so I'm going to go ahead and move this here. Move this here. And I am oh wait, can I generate? I don't think I have enough. No, I don't have enough to generate when he's on the tile. Oh yeah, no, because I corrupted him. Yeah, so I will generate that as a affinity action. Can't generate here because it's not my affinity. And that is the end of phase 3. So I have completed 1 Doomsday mission out of the 4 that I need to complete. I have 8 infamy out of the 50 that I need. Ugh. And I already have 3 spoils on here. The spoils probably are going to be the least problematic for me on this one. This one's relatively easy for a 1-player game. It gets harder when you have more players because, again, 4 players having 12 spoils on the board while managing the agent going around. 6 players having 18 spoils on the board. I mean, it's rough, but doable. Done it before. Okay. Voluntary recall. I don't think this guy needs to be here anymore. He's coming back. This guy's going to stay here. He's been doing fine. This guy's expensive, and if I need to send somebody back out, I'm going to send a cheaper squad. So I will recall him as well. So voluntary recall is complete. Tithing to Goodman. No need to have all this infamy in my vault. BP can stay here. Emerson's about to go away, but not yet. Going to keep all the resources in my vault. Complete Goodman directives. I still don't have a soldier. Oh, wait, I can complete this one. All the named henchmen have 1 or less betrayal triggers. And let's just make sure I haven't missed anything. Team leader doesn't matter for syndicates. Interpol and CIA both have 1 high alert token on there, so I'm fine there. I do have a gadget, and there's no other henchman with more loyal missions completed. Which again is an easy one for single player, solo player. So I'm able to complete that. I don't get any VP for it, but what the? Oh, put it in my hand. That's cool. I don't get any VP for it, but I do get infamy, which I need. Which unfortunately goes in my vault. I can't put it in. I can't tithe it into the communal vault right now. So, all right. Round took longer than I thought it would. Complete Goodman directives, complete side jobs. Goodman's plotting actions. I'm not doing good on these. Boris is rough. Like he's good in certain situations, but he's not my my first pick for a solo game. But then again, I didn't make the best decisions either, so I can't really blame Boris. I'm sorry, Boris. It's not your fault. Complete financial mission. Probably not going to be doing that. 20s from base receive a discount of 2 funding instead of 1. Ooh, that's a good one. And that'll help me get the research third gadget thing too. would save me funding with my bigger squads. That's a great late game strategy because now squads of up to 5 are free to go from base. So I have 2 funding left. So, that might be worth spending some infamy on to get extra data cache. Oh, I only have 1 data cache? What the hell, Sean? Thought I had 3 or 2. But that's because I was planning on doing stuff over here and didn't end up doing it. All right, so it would be 6 infamy to get that, and then I could potentially get 3 infamy here, 2 infamy here, so 5 infamy. Oh man, those would also give me the data cache I need too. That's just insult to injury, man. All right. That'd be really nice to have next round. Okay, well let's see what the world reacts is. So I get to move down 2 this time. Yay, because I've revealed the plan. 1, 2, so down to 3 rounds, or yeah, 3 rounds left. Technically 2 rounds because it's going to go 1 and then 0 after that. We hit 4 on the way down, so we hit an even number. Overtime. Agents move twice during the agent's investigate, dealing damage to both tiles. Wonderful. Great. Wonderful. Deploy to an agent's tile and return 1 corruption to the world for each high alert token on that agent's headquarters. Okay, this is best case scenario for right now because I haven't been... Remember how I said before, these are great sources of income, but they can cause other problems. 1, they make the agents just more powerful in general because no matter where they are at, they have more high alerts in their tile. But 2, if this card flips out, it's a lot more expensive to get rid of them. But because I was careful because of Boris and wasn't taking advantage of the easy resources on here, totally not because I forgot and just didn't go out there, I'm going to have an easier time getting rid of this. Otherwise, these guys are going to be moving twice each time, which is just awful. Nobody likes that. Okay. Alright, so that's the end of that round. We're getting back to scheming. Interpol CIA, security sweep, coordination. Oh, also, Emerson goes away. Bye, Emerson. You've been real. Thanks, Tabletop Simulator. Alright. Explosive rounds go back in my hand. Stolen dossiers just sitting there, doing nothing. Okay, so the question is... Do I think I can do everything next round? Because if so, this round I can rack up a bunch of data cache and infamy from these 2, also getting rid of these guys. And then next round, try to complete a bunch of... No, because even if I completed... Let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 8, 16, 24... I wouldn't have enough infamy, so no, I have to rush and complete at least 2 of these this round. Yeah, no, I might lose. This is not looking good for me. Not looking good for Homestar Runner, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Sorry for the random lip smacks and stuff. Post-production. Get rid of them there. Not getting rid of the cat snoring, though. If you can hear that, that's just adding to the experience. I don't even think it's worth it to go after this right now because it's a net loss for infamy. I don't need the VP as much right now. I can hire 2 people this round if needed, which I think I will need. Okay, let's clear some stuff out. Let's see what kind of resources I'm working with. These tokens are so big in here. I might need to shrink all these. That's Squad 3 I'm disbanding. Removing all this stuff. You guys have done me good. You guys took over South American cartels, doing great. Oh, I also forgot to collect the VP for Emerson. It's his affinity, so bonus VP. Won't help me, because I need an even number in order to hire people, but it's nice to have. Good to know you're recognized. What the hell? Where did those come from? Oh, I know what happened there. Okay, and Squad 2 is also back, so let's bring these guys in. Squad 1 has just been like chilling out there on rig sports events, just like UFC and baseball and basketball, just everything, just rigging everything and grabbing a whole bunch of corruption from people. Okay. Who would have thought with Boris I'd be starved on combat? That's just bad foresight on my part. Oh, God. Alright. I should probably lock that tile down. Let's go ahead and lock that tile. Lock all these tiles. So much better. Okay. Goodman looks disappointed. Does he look disappointed right now? He looks disappointed in me. Jesse's commenting on the reference here. Yes, it is an old reference. I called it out a little bit earlier in the video before you got a chance to join. Shoeless Joe Jackson, the rigging of the World Series. Some of them are a little more obvious than others. Like I have Ponzi schemes in here somewhere, which is literally a pyramid of faceless henchmen. Because pyramid schemes, why not? I like my puns. All right. I'm just dragging out my loss here at this point. I need to hurry up. Let's do this. Let's spend 1, 2. Oh, come on. So let's spend 3 right there. The other 2 have to stay in my vault. I can't move those over to the communal vault. Actually, I don't want to spend that one. I will spend... Yeah, I do want to spend that one. I want to spend that in my vault. I don't want to spend another communal vault. That'll turn that to an espionage, which I'll then immediately spend, and flip that here. Let's try that again. There we go. Deploy neurotoxin. It's our good Dr. Hugo down here, hanging out of Azura's plane and gas in Paris. Oh man, he is destructive. I don't like that. This is really good in a competitive game when you want to nuke a couple tiles, but that's just going to make this guy move faster around here because you can't kill the agent even if you do a bunch of damage to him. He just moves him back to Interpol and he moves right back onto the map afterwards, sending reinforcements basically. So that's actually not great. I don't even want to do that mission. But I can do some of these over here. So I can definitely do this one. Take 3 resource missions from the world. That'll help. May help. I can do that. This guy will move off of here, and then I can do this one. Relatively easy. Draw 2 gadgets from the deck, which may or may not help, but I think I'm still going to be starved for the last round here. I mean, I can potentially get another 18 influence off of here if I complete this 3 times next round, if I'm able to complete 3 this round. But even if I do, it's 8, 16, 24, 34, 42 Infamy, 50. Ooh. If I can figure out a way to complete 3 this round, I think I actually got it. And then it's just a matter of making sure I have my spoils over here, which may or may not get interfered with. I might have to stack a bunch of corruption up. And I also forgot that I need to take care of this one, because otherwise these guys are going to be running roughshod over me. If I go here, he's going to make this even more difficult. Oh, because I can corrupt him. So if I deploy here, I can corrupt him, and then he won't make this more difficult. So that can be my first action. All right. Plan is starting to develop. I got this. This is... All right. Self-serving here, but this is the thing I like about this game. It's like a puzzle. You get to figure out mathematical problems, and the best way you can use your resources to solve these. So go here. Corrupt agent. Complete this mission. I might then have to have a second squad come out here and complete this mission because I don't think I have funding enough to move from here to here. Is that not making a thing, or is it just invisible? That's weird. Oh, it's just highlighting. Okay, whatever. Tabletop Simulator, fun stuff. Complete that one, and then. All right. Okay, so I have plotted out my actions here. I'm figuring out what I want to do for this guy here. I'm probably going to hire Axel, because he's got a decent spread of abilities across the board, and this one's kind of even. As you can see, there's no like 8 requirements. It's all like 4, 4, 4, 3 in reverse. So this one, yeah, I'm going to recruit Axel for this one. So 2 victory points, goodbye. Hiring Axel. Bump. Yeah. Axel, not in the field yet. There we go. Again, Axel is our engineer. He worked in the military with General Goodman before they defected. And I plotted my actions of 1, 2, 3. So now I just need to figure out the squads for these 2, and then I'm good to go. Ooh, and I'm gonna have another problem getting out here because I don't have. We'll figure that out in a second. So this squad is already done. This squad need to figure out. So Axel's obviously going to be in there because I just recruited him in. So I'm also going to spend this data cache as part of Axel's special ability. So blueprints are for suckers. Once per round, Axel may lower the technology track by 2 or increase it by 1, minimum of 1, maximum of 5. So I'm going to go back to the technology track here and not pick up the entire thing. Go ahead and lock that in place. Lower the track back down to 1. So that way, well, if I want to buy that technology next round, I can. Technically, if I want to buy it this round, I can. Actually, it would be better to buy it this round because then I would get more funding. Ooh, that's actually a good call. So I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 Infamy. 3, 4, 5, that's my change. That'll give me a data cache, which I'm immediately going to spend for fuel cells. And that'll raise the technology track back up to 2. And then I'll be able to claim that other objective at the end of the round. All right. So now my discount coming from base is 2, so that'll make it a lot easier to get out here. I'm going to have to spend corruption when I get there. So that one's already figured out. This one I have 1 combat and 2 of cunning and diplomacy. So I need another 2 combat, 4 stealth, 2 cunning, and 2 diplomacy. So makes sense to do a fixer, which will take care of 2 of the diplomacy and 1 of the cunning. And then a thief for 2 of the stealth and 1 of the cunning. And then another thief for the other 2 stealth and the other cunning. I am short on combat. So I can either figure out a way to make Boris's thing more combative, or and move the explosive rounds over here, or I can make his cell more combative. I only have 1 assassin, which is the only combat I have left over here. So let's see how much short Boris is. So 6, that means 3, 4. He's got exactly how much he needs. Oh man, combat being my bottleneck for Boris's organization. That is rough. I've already completed that one. Alright, I'm going to have to switch up my plans here. Going here first, going here second, still keeping Axel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out here and complete this. I'm going to have to reshuffle these squads. This guy's going to move 2 spots. He's going to damage this and then hit here. Then I'll deploy there, do the other crazy stuff, and hopefully that'll work. Because I have oodles of stealth. But so I might actually just throw Boris in here as well. So what that'll do is, there's my 3 combats, 1 stealth, 1 cunning. Axel then takes out 2 of the diplomacy, 2 of the cunning, so the fixer at that point takes care of the rest of the diplomacy and cunning. Then I need 3 more stealth, so I actually can move these guys right back in. Then I have my squad of 5 that will be able to take care of that. So there's my squad 3. Squad 2, which will be harder to do with... could hire Jin for this one. That would be appropriate. I got the VP. Let's do it. I'm going to spend 2 VP, so I'll get 1 back. I'm going to hire Jin Fang. I haven't hired her before, right? No, I have not. Speaking of which, let's mark that I've hired these guys. So if I choose to hire them again, it is more expensive. My prestige as a villain, I'm bringing them into the field. Okay, Jin. So, she has no combat, but she'll take care of 3 of the stealth, which means she needs 5 more stealth, 3 cunning, and 1 diplomacy. So man, it'd be nice to have that scientist right now. So we're going to need a fixer. Oh, we already have a fixer over there, so we have some people over here. We have the fixer. So we need 2 more cunning. That will be the hacker. Between the hacker and Jin, we have 4 stealth. So 1 assassin will get rid of that 1 combat and 2 of the stealth, and then a thief will take care of the last bit. So that'll give us 8 stealth, 1 combat, 4 cunning, and 2 diplomacy. And it's a squad of 5, which means it'll be free to deploy with the fuel cells. Yay. Okay. Oh, I'm going to lose. All right. So there's 1, 2, and then I don't think I can get out of here for 3. Maybe I can move this guy over there, but he doesn't have the combat and the diplomacy necessary to take that down, so... I guess the explosive rounds still go over here because overkill. Why not? Actually, I could give explosive rounds here, but they still don't have diplomacy, so... So the question is, can I get a 3rd... Actually, I have 2 funding, so I can get one of my big cells out there, and I can do this one then. All right, so what I'll do is I'll move this the squad from here to here at the end of the round, which will then give me a bunch of stuff there. So that's my consolation. It'll just cost me a bunch of funding. Okay, we have a plan. It's not a good plan. It's not a great plan, but we're going to try it out. All right, we have finished off scheming onto villainy. We're going to go ahead and fund deployment. Going to go ahead and move the squad of these guys out there, squad 3. Normally that would cost 2 because I have a squad of 5. Actually, you're so big. Boris is supposed to be big. So normally moving a squad of 5 would cost 2, but because I'm coming from base, it only costs me 1. And because I have fuel cells, it costs me 0. So that's a free deployment, yay. We just did all the calculations and math, so we know that we have all the requirements. So I'm going to go ahead and collect my 8 Infamy, my 3 VP, and I'm going to take 3 resource missions from the world. 8 Infamy. 3 VP. I don't think Axel or Boris have an affinity for this. Nope. So neither one of them get an extra VP. And I'll take my 1, 2, 3 from the world. I mean, technically I could look at these and choose them, but I got both of the Vice ones anyway, so... But I can't even double it because that global event, it's so mean to me. Alright. Go ahead and put a complete token on here. This guy's going to use his action to generate a spoil as his affinity action. This guy moves twice, 1, 2. when he moves over this one, he places a high alert token on here. If he gets back around and does that again, he removes this back to the world, which means it doesn't count as completed mission for me. And I'd have to retrieve it from the world like I just did those other resource missions, which require me going to agent headquarters, and it's just an awful experience. All right, this guy also moves 2, 1, 2. Fortunately, nobody in his path. Okay. Phase 2, gonna go ahead and move this squad out here. Same deal, they have 5 henchmen, cost 2, discount of 2 with my gadget. So I move out here. Per the global event, I'm going to deploy to an agent's tile and return 1 corruption to the world for each high alert token that is on that agent's headquarters. There is only 1 high alert token on here right now because I haven't gone and done anything to it yet. So I'm going to go ahead and return this 1 corruption. Whoop. And this is completed and gives me a VP. Dun, 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 dun. And the most prestigious villain who has ever villained. Okay. I am glad I have the 2nd corruption. I did not think about this. So since the agent's there, he's also adding the difficulty of this tile to here. He's making it more difficult. So I'm going to also corrupt him, spending my other corruption, because it only costs a corruption per the amount of high alert tokens here and here, which is a total of 1. And I'm going to go ahead and complete this mission. I would have been very disappointed in myself if I did not have that extra corruption. That's the kind of mistake you can make, but fortunately, I was accidentally prepared. Alright, I did the math earlier, so I know I have the 1 combat, 8 stealth, 4 cunning, and 2 diplomacy. So that will give me 8 infamy, 3 VP, and I will generate 2 spoils and all completed larceny missions. On top of that, Jin Fang is in that squad, and it's her affinity. Surprise, surprise, she's on the tile. And we'll get an extra VP for that. So an extra 3 VP for completing the mission, extra 1 VP for the affinity, 8 infamy, and then 2 spoils and all completed larceny missions, which I think is... Ooh, good thing that guy already moved there. So those go there after he had moved. That actually really helps. Puts me in a much better position to potentially win next round, which is not likely, but hey, we're going to try. This is phase 2, so his affinity action is going to be to generate spoils there. And now phase 3. So phase 3, I'm going to deploy from here to Agents Investigate, sorry, I forgot. They now move 1, because I've solved that global event. Now phase 3, I'm going to go ahead and deploy out to here, funding the deployment with 2, since I no longer get that discount from fuel cells. That only counts from base. So 1, 2 to move those guys. And I have 2, 2, 2, 2, which is easier than what this one was over here. I should... Oh, I already did that here. Sorry. And I need to move this over here. So I've completed tokens on 3 of these now. I have enough to complete all these, so the requirements of this are 2 combat, stealth, cunning, and diplomacy per high alert token on there. Right now there is 1 high alert token on the tile. You can see it under my squad token right there. And so I'm going to get 3 infamy, 2 funding, 1 espionage, and a data cache per high alert token on the tile, which is again only 1. So I will get 3 infamy. Yep, what am I doing? 3 infamy. I was putting all that in the communal vault before. I should put that in my vault. 2 funding, espionage, and data cache. Data cache, 2 funding, and espionage. And because I did that, another high alert token on here, which means this agent is now more dangerous and this is more difficult and more profitable to raid. 1 more and I will get a betrayal trigger on Boris, so I got to be careful about that, but I'm doing pretty good on betrayal triggers this round. That's the one easy part about Boris for single player. Alright, Agents Investigate. This guy hits this one, which means that I now have a high alert token here. Hopefully I don't flip that global event, otherwise these 2 tiles are going away. I think, or maybe it's when they move onto it that they do it, so I forget the exact wording of it. This guy also moves, so that'll be interesting for next round. And we get to monologuing. Whew. This is rough. All right, so recalling these squads definitely. Don't want these out in the field with all my dudes in them. This guy's going to stay here because he's going to collect stuff. Tie it to Goodman. Let's put all of this infamy and everything in here. I'm going to keep all that stuff. Actually, I guess I can toss those in there because those won't help me. But I need the funding. Keeping the funding. Money's good. Greed is good. Complete Goodman directives. Didn't complete any missions. Didn't complete one at Interpol. No exploitation missions. No vicious missions. I'm not returning 5 funding to the world. And I still don't have a soldier. I cannot believe I do not have that. Alright. So complete side jobs. I have researched personally 3 gadgets. So yay. I'm going to go ahead and collect that one, which gives me 2 VP and 1 infamy. Put a little token on there showing that I've completed that. 1, 2 VP. And was it 1 infamy or? Yeah, 1 infamy. Which will go right here. So hey, I completed an objective. Yeah. I think this is the old wording here. So I'm looking at the another henchman has completed more loyal side jobs than Boris. I think you have to complete a minimum of 1, but I'll double check that. Some of these pieces I've seen have been updated since the tabletop simulator was built. So yay playthroughs to show me that. All right, that round took a lot longer than expected. Goodman's plotting actions. Go and flip out a new directive. Complete 2 Doomsday missions in the same round. Of course, that flips the round after I do that. And it's past the point where I can complete those now, so. But I'm going to have to complete 2 more this next round anyway, so we'll see. Remove 1 funding penalty or reduce the total cost of 1 deployment to 2. So that means that like if I had a squad of 6, it would be 2. And then on top of fuel cells means it would be free if I was deploying from base. And there's no real funding penalties I'm running into unless a global event switches, flips over here. So I'm going to, speaking of which, move the clock down. We are down to the last round. And we flip a global event because it passed an even number. Gadget costs are calculated as if technology track was 2 higher. Okay, I'm not buying tech this round. Got it. Man, global events have been good and bad for me this game. Can't really blame them too much. All right, last round. I mean, there's technology and like missions and stuff which allow you to move the clock up, but I'd have to move it up twice in order to get an extra round. Because even if I move it up to 2, it's going to count down twice, and ouch. So let's take a look at what I can do. So I have 8, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22, 25 infamy. I need another 25 infamy and another completed mission on the another completed Doomsday mission. That's mathematically impossible because each one of these gives me 8. I only have 3 actions. Yeah, whatever I bought last round for 3 infamy cost me the game. Oh wait, hold on. 1 here. Oh, I have more than I thought. Okay, that's good. I was going to say, that was a really bad mistake if I did that. 8, 16, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So if I get 24, that puts me to 51. So I'll have 1 more than what's necessary to complete the game. But I have to complete 3 Doomsday missions. I also have to make sure that he doesn't get onto this tile right here, because otherwise he's going to remove that from the game. Actually, that I don't mind, because I'll have 4 completed through other means at that point, so that's okay. I also got to remember to return Jin and Axel back to their boxes here. They left at the end of last round, so Bye, guys. Thanks for the help. All right. And I have VP to hire people. Oh, I underspent for the henchmen that I brought in. It's 3 VP once the Doomsday mission is if a Doomsday mission's been revealed. So I've hired 3 people. I'm gonna go ahead and delete those 3 VP. Not sure if that would have affected anything before. I know I had extra for at least last round, but not sure if I had extra when I hired the first one. So hopefully I didn't cheat at my own game. Yeah, probably did. Okay, so the question is, for 3 VP apiece, which unfortunately now means that I can only hire 1 person this round, and only Cassandra or Hugo, because I can't afford the extra cost for these guys now. Hugo might be good for this round, though, because he can do Super Soldier Serum, so if I'm going to kill a bunch of henchmen, now's the time to do it. He can only do it twice, though. No, he can do resources twice, but he can Super Soldier as many people as he wants. Okay, so... question is, can I complete these 3 missions this round? If so, I'm good. Because this guy is going to collect, corrupt, generate... Oh, man, I don't have the spoils either. 1, 2, 3... Yes, I do, because these 2 spoils up here. Whew. Okay, good. These 2 spoils will save me, otherwise that would have lost me the game too. I need 3 spoils over here at the end of the game, and this guy's going to come here, and I don't have enough corruption to buy him off right now, so I'm going to have to collect all these, make it some corruption, corrupt him when he hits here, generate again, so I'll have 4 spoils. So I'm good on the spoils. If I can complete these 3 missions, I can actually win. Let's see if I can do it. Hugo might be key for that, because I'm pretty sure he has 3 cunning. So I'm probably going to have to recruit him. 8 combat. I think that's going to be the killer for me. So with Boris and explosive rounds, that's 5. I would need 3 assassins, because I don't have any soldiers. So that covers my stealth and everything. And then a fixer, actually. So that's still only a squad of 5 to do that one. So I can do that one. With Boris, a fixer, and 3 assassins, which I believe I have. 1, 2. Do I not have a 3rd assassin? Clean my stuff up over here. Let's organize my... There's my 3rd assassin. Okay. 1, 2. That's my 2nd assassin. Ooh, that's game over right there, if I can't figure that out. If I can't squeeze another combat out, either by hiring somebody else, or, which that might be the trick, I could send Hugo out in his own squad, because he has combat 2, or combat 1, I believe. Combat TOO, not TWO. Okay, so he's going to have to come out too. Ugh. Oh god, this is going to be rough. So with this one, with Boris, that's 5 combat and 1 stealth and 1 cunning. Hugo would be able to make up for the other 3 cunning. I don't think he has any stealth. But he does have 3 cunning. So between Boris and Hugo, they take out the combat and the cunning requirements. And then it's just a matter of getting 4 stealth, which is 2 assassins. So that's 2 funding. If I... Ooh. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to be able to do this with enough squads. So in order, with the limited amount of funding that I have, I can get 1 squad of 5 out here for free, which is going to be Hugo. I can't even consider Cass right now. She doesn't have the combat, and well, she does have the cunning though, but I don't really need diplomacy, and that's really her strong suit. So sorry, Cass, you don't get to come in this game. So Hugo comes out. I'm going to spend my 3... Oh! I had another 3 under here. I can hire them both. That might help. Might as well. It's the last round. Hiring them both. Yay, Cass. Welcome back. I've always loved you. Alright. I still don't think I'm going to be able to do this, but it's just going to come down to funding, because I can't spend any infamy on funding, because I need it all to win the game. So, let's see. If Hugo goes out there, if I give the explosive rounds to Hugo, let's say we do this round 1, round... Oh, he's going to be there round 2 and round 3. Oh, that's even worse. So round 1, round 2, round 3 to avoid the agent as he's cruising around. I already flipped. Yeah, I already flipped that. Okay, so I'm good there. So 1, 2, 3, and then okay. So basically, Hugo and Boris end up in a squad together for all 3 of these in order to make this work. So one squad is Boris, Hugo, and one other person. And I'll calculate up all the attributes on here in a second just to show you guys my math. Let's say that other person is an assassin. So that seems to be... Yeah, all of them need stealth, so an assassin can be useful in all of them. So there's our 3 there. And then the other squad has to be able to come out there and supplement, and then might not be able to... Yeah, I don't have enough funding for this because I only have 2 squads available. I need these guys to stay out here at least through phase 2. Phase 3 they can come out though. It'll cost them 1 funding to move somewhere. I can move out for free. It's going to take me 1 funding to move them somewhere else, and then 1 funding there. I do not have the funding to pull this off. I would not have enough squads. Actually, yeah, because then the other one can come from base. Still a chance. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. So with the explosive rounds, they have 6, 1 stealth, 3 stealth. Actually, even without the explosive rounds, I think they have it 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they have 7 because of the assassin. They have 3 stealth with the assassin, which means they need a thief and a hacker, maybe 2 hackers. That's a squad of 6. I'm floundering again because I won't have the funding for that. Would 2 hackers do it? I think 2 hackers would do it. 2 hackers would do it. So that's a squad of 5 in total. Yeah, so I'll be able to do that for free. Do I have 2 hackers? I do, and one of them's out there. That's where the holograms would come into play. And because of the global event, I can't even think about getting technology. I cannot pull this off. What can give me 4 cunning and 2 stealth with only 2 dudes? I have 1 hacker. Yep. End of 3. And this guy will be here around 2, so I can't make that my second stop. Trying to figure out a way I can pull these guys in, but I need them to be out there phase 2, and otherwise I have to pull them out phase 2, and then I'd lose on spoils. So here's my predicament. I can only pull these guys off phase 3. which would cost me 1 funding to do so. I could build a 3rd squad, bring them out for free at base. I would have Boris and Hugo in a squad to go out and do cool stuff. Possibly could even throw Cass in there, but she wouldn't benefit a lot of these because there's not a lot of diplomacy requirements on these. This guy's going to be cruising around, and I don't have the corruption. I guess I will have the corruption to corrupt him there. Okay. Last ditch of it. I hate quitting, so I don't want to say that I can't do it if I absolutely can't do it. So if I get all the corruption from here, I can stop the agent from messing with me on these tiles, but I still don't think I have the funding to do this. So if I have Hugo and Boris with a total combat of 4, explosive rounds brings them up to 6, I can... I have the assassin with me, which brings up to 7. I can super soldier him to bring him up to 8, which will kill him at the end of the round. But you know what? He served a noble cause. Assassin has 2 stealth. Boris has 1. I can then throw another unit on there, like a thief or something, and then a fixer for a total squad of 5, and that will complete that one. And that could be squad 3, would be the fixer and the thief. And the trouble comes in. Actually, what does Cass have? Yeah, she wouldn't be able to provide the stealth, so I still need somebody there. The trouble then comes in is then round 2, if squad 2, which is the assassin, the boost up assassin, Boris, and Hugo come over here, I still don't have the cunning for this. It would cost me 1 funding to move them over there, and then 1 funding to move... Actually, do I need an assassin then? Because if I'm 1 over, I can make that a thief. 1, 2, 3... I'm short 2 stealth there, so I still need to bring somebody else over stealth-wise. Oh no, I didn't have an extra thing there, so I did need the assassin with juiced up and everything. So yeah, then I'm short on stealth on this one, and then I would not have the funding to get to this one at that point because I've already done all my free deployments out from base. I have moved my other dudes out from the other tile. I do not have the ability to get 24 infamy this round, so that's a loss right there. I did all the math as much as I could. The fact of the matter is I am too short on funding, and I don't have enough squad power to both get the spoils out here and to do everything I need to do out here. Which unfortunately means, well, I guess fortunately means my game has beaten me. Solo has the benefit and drawback of having the 10 full rounds on the Doomsday Clock, but the drawback of you only have 3 actions every round, especially with the poor Dryad in the beginning where I didn't have multiple missions to generate multiple squads. So it was a little bit slower on the resource gathering up on that side. But that said, I'm kind of proud that my game can beat me. I like when games are difficult. It's too easy. It's not a challenge, and it's just not fun. So, yay. Pull up my... Look of defeat. Ninja is very concerned, as you can see. I hope you guys at least enjoyed the demo. I'm going to be dragging this down, and there were some problems in the beginning with one. Apparently, you have to either choose camera or sharing on Facebook. You can't switch in between while you're live. So I'm going to link the 3 videos together. That first one, the second one, which just ended randomly, and then this one where I got to admit that I'm not good enough. And then this will be part of the Kickstarter campaign and what have you. And I'm going to try to do some demos of Mayhem and Cutthroat pretty soon. Mayhem is a team versus team game. Cutthroat is a unique playing experience where you have everybody in a hybrid, cooperative, competitive environment where you're all on the same team, but people can betray the organization. One person's actually playing General Goodman and is trying to manage everybody and play his doomsday plan. So there's a lot of like diplomacy and Twilight Imperium-esque politics going on with a lot of competing motivations and such. So if you're interested in any of those, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to put you on the list to demo that, because those I cannot do alone. And yeah, but thank you guys for your time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please back to Kickstarter, tell your friends, even if this is not the game for you, shout out to the heavens that this game exists. Thank you again for your time and support. Have a good one. And end live video. For real.